So that was a 15-minute seance that you
I
performed there.
know. I restarted the computer and restarted the internet. So,
If in doubt, restart. It works. So we are now live with this amazing image of blank map tools. Oh, there we go. Wait.
Is there a dark theme for map tools? It's so bright.
There is. If you go to themes, you can go to default dark, but then you have to restart map tools, and I'm not gonna.
I didn't notice that either. That was added with the new map tool versions. I just completely glossed over that. Well, fuck. I don't fucking care about restarting this damn thing. Let's try this shit.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, nah, yeah, I'm here. Give me the dark.
Let me try this. My eyes
Research. Yes, I will research.
Well, now I
I've
have
had
to
vi-
too.
I've had vision problems this year that have, among other things, have made brightness hit me even worse.
Oh, look at that.
That looks weird, but okay, I'm willing to try this for a
I
session.
can
What
get
the fuck?
used to it. Okay, but why? Okay, but you don't make the writing black then. You make the
Yeah, I know,
writing-
right?
Who made this? Do you need help? I can, like, hire me. I'll
Well,
fix this.
This looks so weird now.
let's turn the brightness of my monitor all the way down.
Yep, I already have.
So,
it's like,
shit.
huh. Alright. Select. Yep.
Oh god, no, I can't play like this.
I admit, Sheep, I tried it. I was like, man. I turned it back because it wasn't the same.
Of course you can, Mister. I never changed shit.
You and me, Sheep, we're
Yep.
the
I hate-
same
You're
in that
the
regard.
same.
I hate change unless it's better.
We're not so different, you and I.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fact.
We're not so different, you and I.
No.
Someday I'll get to have that actual
Oh,
villain say that. Mean it.
And me.
Well, it's just whenever you have villains monologuing, like they get to play a character's sword or fist or something to the face, right?
it's true.
Let me explain, and then someone screams, "Surprise round!"
All right, I maybe can't do black text on a dark gray background, but I can change the color of my text.
But how I pick the text, and then what happens? How do I sample text? I don't need to sample. I'm confident in my choice.
That's beautiful, Grimmer. Thank you.
White text on white background.
It only
That
helps.
Oh,
A
wow.
different way to whisper. Maybe I can actually remember that one.
No, sometimes someone will whisper me, and I'm like, "That's nice." I don't know how to whisper you back.
You
Oh
know,
my god, you don't know
should-
how to. What the hell? Just type /help. You can get a list of the commands.
What is this?
But why people don't? It seems like
This is my text now.
Okay. We're on to something here, Sheep, with you typing in span colors.
Oh, we actually got the same one.
terrible. Wait, how? I just see. Let's think. How do I save my text? I need.
I don't know how to help you.
It just wants me to sample. I don't care about sample.
That's
God.
this just reminds me of like 1999 era like internet websites.
Then we have to have them scroll across.
Yeah.
We're playing Hypnospace Outlaw today, everyone.
Yeah. From now on, this game we're going real retro, and so the
Oh.
players will write what they do. It's a text-based game now. We'll comment with our voices, but only do action. I couldn't abide by that. Not for a second. I'd have to write like novels.
I'm just gonna launch 1,700 instances of map tool here, one testing out each theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I couldn't.
Seems like
Harry,
Anyway.
you got a recap for us today?
I do have a recap.
Cool.
Yes.
Give it to us.
Yeah, I know. This level of organization is.
Be very quiet there for me, at least.
Hello?
She
There you
was
go.
trailing off.
Yeah.
Do I need to adjust my volume? Or am I just mumbling? I think I'm.
You were just mumbling.
Yeah, it's a family thing.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So, last time, we had a nice little dragon meeting in the Cicatrix's new estate, really more like dank, murky fortress. And in the half-flooded basement, the dragons met to discuss the possible encounter with the black dragon that claims to be the heir of the Black Dread, whatever, that guy. There was some discussion of possible approaches, briefly, and then Emmy left the Cicatrix with the Silver Dragon to possibly the most awkward meeting of her time, playing host despite having absolutely no idea how, and after contemplating very quickly again. Arrogantly, the Cicatrix's brilliant plan was get there, be 3 dragons, trample everything in our path, and win. Turns out she vastly underestimated the defenses, and yeah, we got beaten, kind of. Well, I mean, we got beaten to the point where it's like, I don't know that this is worth the effort. The biggest adversary being swarms of acid-spraying eels. Which, the Cicatrix might have to get some of those for her own lair at one point. And after the fight, which was really the first and last fight, Emissary promptly said, "Fuck this," and we retreated. And then she went and insulted the biggest, baddest red dragon in the area and completely incapacitated them in front of their troop. And what I wrote then is like, she's coming. What could go wrong? Yeah. I mean, but surely she'll give us lots of time to prepare. It's no hurry, really. And that's what I have here.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's pretty much the truth, isn't it?
I feel like it was not hard for me to write that. I was like, no, yeah, that's how it happened.
A dragon is on its way after having been knocked unconscious, and
In front of her minions.
it was rude. It was intended to be.
Rude at best.
What would Valignif do? Basically.
It's funny. While the Ligneth is sitting up there trying to become smarter, Emissary is slowly being like, what would he do? He's gonna come back and be like, yes, I have found the sneaky ways. And
I'm just trying to imagine, like any of our dragons, how any of the dragons thus far featured in this campaign would react if another dragon came up, just slapped them in the face, and then left.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like dragons...
And flew faster than you, so you couldn't catch up with them.
I would...
Like if Ophasterolix, if he were still alive, had just flown up and boop, just left.
I mean, how would a Missouri react? Like, going unconscious there for a moment and then waking up face in the mud with the other dragon laughing, flying away?
Baffled, probably blame it on the curse of lethargy. Yeah, completely baffled. Like, the fuck? Is Yaffle dead? Did one of the other dragons die?
What is this?
What the fuck happened there?
Some sort of psionic wump.
And probably like stupidly like go, hey, can you touch me again? I gotta test this out here.
Blessed sleep.
Peace, finally.
That's no effort wasted right there. I don't even have to try to go to sleep. You just touch me and bam. Perfect.
Yeah. Also, because we should acknowledge it, we currently have no open goal slots. Goals are the same as last time. I will read them because that is tradition. We have a deal with the Communion fleet. Enlist the aid of the Red Banner host against the hierarchy. Permanently reduce the hierarchy's might. Kill the heir to the Belag Dread. Convince the Commander Victus to betray the hierarchy and subjugate the Spirehorn tribe. Is any one of these goals that should be gotten rid of?
Nah, I'm fine with all of them.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Then we can really go straight into it. Yeah, Missouri's flown home, but what's the idea here? What's her? I mean, that makes sense to start there, right? What's the approach after what she's just done?
What I want.
The Red Dragon is slower than her. She knows that for a fact, because otherwise probably would have caught her. Or tried to anyway.
Had a head start to.
Yeah. Just over in general, Red Dragons are pretty big. They have big wingspan. They're good over long distances. But in combat, they can be somewhat slow and cumbersome. All things considered. Very tough, full of fire, very angry at this.
So,
how dare this sub-dragon to it come and do this, right?
I know, like, some other dragon that is not the superior color. So the overarching theme is sort of like, it is not sort of, but mentioned explicitly last session is, Ibizur is like, I need a dragon body. I gotta get that soon. This underwater shit's for the birds. I can't do that. Like, fighting things underwater, like, that's not, I don't fly there, everything can fly, basically, underwater. I still need a dragon body. What's the other dragon I know of that I can reasonably, like, get this body of? This red dragon. If the red dragon's is stupidly, like, arrogant and, like, wanting to fight as other red dragons I have experience with, I can probably make this work so long as I can survive this. I killed a bigger dragon than me before. So, I'm gonna goad the red dragon. The red dragon's gonna make a mistake. And then I'm going to use my incredible cunning to ambush the red dragon, or like when it's expecting a fight just against this green dragon, and jazz hands, slay the red dragon, get a body, fire giants break away from the hierarchy, Christmas is safe. It's the running theme. I think she would first fly to the dragon fane out of concern of being immediately pursued, and then if she's not chased for like the rest of the day, she'll go back home. And then, like, make, like, further preparations to do some fucking cool green dragon shit that's gonna surprise the red dragon again.
Sure.
Yeah, if Emmy just shows up at the Fane, I assume Rumenfear would be there as well. He'd inquire what brings her there.
Yeah. It's been literally the day after, like, the black dragon escapade, like, underwater. She says, let me see how convincing she is. I need to get a sense of how good this bluff is going to be here. Okay. She says, I was keeping an eye on the mountains and decided to stop in.
Let me also make a roll. Rumenfear nods. That's very considerate of you. These mountains are very large, and I don't know them very well yet.
She says, my were-rats have been combing through them for some time, but it's good to have someone that can, fly and has dragon eyes. So that is a superior creature.
I most certainly wouldn't trust, even if I don't know them, a group of lycanthropes. Not that I have anything against them in particular, just as a general rule.
She says, "Oh, is shape-changing bother you, Riemanthir?"
Well, not exactly, but I mean they're very small and quite. I don't actually know what I'm saying. I apologize.
She says, "Apology accepted. You, we discussed when we first met whether you had intended to stay here at the Fane or try to find a place of your own. Is this your place?"
It's most definitely not my place.
Mm-hmm. It's Tiamat's. I could see that being awkward.
Yes, very. It's also the place that, if it were to be attacked, I would feel quite strongly about that. There's no good place close by that is not either claimed by dwarves or. Well, I've looked into the valley, a few caves there, but they are not entirely uninhabited.
There once was a dragon that Velignith knew, who laired in the floating islands beyond the beyond the dwarves.
I've seen that place. It's peculiar, but it's quite distant.
She says, and in this environment, nothing really cold around these parts.
I've noticed. I think for the time being I'm simply going to stay here, even if, quite frankly, the place gives me the creeps. It is a sacrifice I'm willing to make, however.
She bobs and says, it's like a lull for like 15 seconds, and then says that that primal diplomacy, that was all right.
I'm glad it helped, although obviously not enough, considering we had to retreat, unfortunately.
Oh. It is understandable that a lair of a coward would be prepared, and we could not bring our minions. Well, you don't have any, and my minions don't go down there to disperse those evils.
If it nods slightly. So, if you would want to stay, I do believe that some of the areas of the Fane are quite suited to your likes, unlike they are to me.
Yeah, I've loitered around here before. Velignith had to meet him here.
You've probably been here more often than myself.
She says, "No, you've stayed here most every day over the past 2 years at this point. You're more familiar with the layout than I am."
I think I'm mostly familiar with a 2x2 square of water that I've been laying in for most of that year.
Well, it must be a very good square.
I'm quite sick of it at this point.
At least that's the only thing involving you being sick. Right?
It's a poor choice of words, yes.
Good, good, good. I will.
Somewhere, Visigatrix is sniggering about something she doesn't really know.
I'll just, I'll sun myself out here, around where Velignith does. I'll just sun myself for a while. Can't get some warmth. Maybe move on back to my lair tomorrow.
Feel free to stay as long as you like, I think.
Today will be fine. She says, if you have anything else, well, sure this is more comfortable for you than a stone. She flutters away a bit to go lay down. Not perfectly relaxed. But yeah, she figures if something does happen, there's enough minions around here. They'll notice. She'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It certainly doesn't happen immediately. It is possible that this red dragon might not actually know who Emusir Elitrathier is.
Yeah. Good. Might not figure it out. Great. The head start happens. Good. Day passes. Night. Next day. She leaves. Heads back to her lair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put Vesicatrix on the Dragon Coast map here too. I think actually pretty helpful to have the dragons here so we can see where they are at any one time.
It's a nicer marker than that the red painted on star.
Yeah. Let's just give it a little forward icon at this point. It's prepared actually. Might just make sense.
I think before she leaves the Dragon Fang, the day after, she'll say, we'll go to Rodvir and say, hey, Ribbenthair, in your primal diplomacy, you have any tools against other dragons? Since I do need a dragon body so that the fire giants will schism from the hierarchy.
What exactly you're looking for? I don't know of any particular ritual that just makes a dragon dead. Is that what you're looking for?
She says, oh no, my claws can do that just fine. Just how did you stop? Oh, I don't know. You were wounded and sick while flying up here. That Hezaphay.
I stopped her by making it quite clear that I was sick and that she should not approach me, and it appears she took my warning seriously. Otherwise, I suppose at this point she would be dead.
She says, oh, all right. She pauses a beat, and then just as she's about to leave, she says, I can work with that. And then she starts flying.
Ribbenthair looks after her with some concern for a little while before he just goes wandering around again.
I feel like we can transition to the one-roll engine.
Yeah, as we do though. I mean, Hezaphay is on the hunt, so we wouldn't get super far before.
I want the opening scene just being the Cicatrix's lookout scouts being in The Hobbit when Smaug comes over the city, they're just oh god. And she's like, oh hey,
the remaining Reddit smugglers are the lake is back.
Another one.
Too big. Not that one.
I mean, they might just think it's ridiculous though.
I mean,
they've had bad experiences with him.
They've seen
that's very true.
Dragons, and it hasn't been good. Yeah.
I mean, they might still warn her though.
Yeah, Hezaphay is very angry and spends a bit of time just rampaging around through the forest, looking for dragons or something. Probably kills a bunch of random unrelated things. Burns some trees and yells at clouds or whatever. As it were.
One of the most
Doing that
satisfying
red
things I've
dragon
done in this
thing.
campaign.
He's very unhappy with this whole situation. Before making, I mean, you will sort of see it, right? She's not subtle. So you will sort of see, or Missouri will be told, and Vercicatrix will be told that that they can see fires to the south, pieces of the grasslands that are burning. As a dragon is just zigzagging across the sky, just breathing flame.
But Cicatrix's first thought is like, why should I care? And then she like looks to like the basically the two other locations of the other dragons is like, maybe I should care.
So it hasn't even been like I suppose just like to get a sense of like sort of like role play mindset. Like I'm not even like
a couple of days.
Okay, like you just want to get something a couple of days. So Missouri is just like relaxing is a strong word, like in her lair, just like pondering, like I wonder how like this will happen, this will react, and she goes like sun herself one day and just like plumes of smoke off like in the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Like notice a couple, yesterday the hunting was really good. There was like a nice density of wild beasts that have come north.
Just fleeing from the
next
fire.
Day, there's a plume of smoke.
The deer are just hoarding.
Does not know what name to call out or seek out, and does not either have any good understanding of interrogation beyond melt it and then guess. It has been a couple of days of angry rampaging across the countryside in the direction, loosely, just sort of, there's a trail of smoke certainly, as the dragon is just really having a tantrum.
Would that news be enough for Vercicatrix to come back down to the Eel Fort, you think, Ari? I don't know whether Vercicatrix would stay up.
She's still in the Eel Fort, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think at that, Missouri would
frowning at this fire.
Yeah, like Missouri is like thinking like, how can I like a rope? How can I sell this? So she's like, how can I sell this? Because she's like, I already I ditched like one dragon fight. Like, how am I gonna get Vercicatrix in on this? She tries to like work a shell game in her mind because she's been doing this like the past couple of days. Like, okay, I think I got something here. She like gets up from the lair and it's super close, so she doesn't have to fly way up high. She probably just like flies low over the water, like over the lake to get to the fort. Shows up at the fort, just from the water side. Lands on the coast. Looks up at the fort.
That'll be reported quickly too, right?
Yeah. Vercicatrix will come out in her drow form, just with like arms crossed.
Missouri look.
Sorry, what do I owe the pleasure?
She says, I had not anticipated you being down here instead of up in. I suppose you're done with his ear.
She like waves her hand, like, yeah, indeed I am. Now, perhaps you can tell me something about this spreading fire. My troops said that the red dragon of the Fane might be back, but
she says, "Oh no, that's most likely Hezepheh, the Midnight Sun."
Hesse what?
Hezefe. Rearmanfear met her on his flight up
Ah,
north, and that's how I know her name. I presume that's her name.
all right. I thought that territory was claimed by you. Otherwise, I might have looked to it myself.
She says, "It is."
So why is there a dragon burning it then?
She says, "Because I upset it."
That's what I thought. All right. Well, as long as the flames are, kept nicely from my fort, I see no reason that she like stops like looking like at Emmy like, why are you here? But not saying it.
Emmy's
Her,
very
her
like,
tail is like, he's clearly like a little mad, but trying not to show it.
yeah. Emmy's very like considers this direction. Figures she'll go with honesty with her cicatrix. She says, "Because the Hezefe is larger than I am, and while I have defeated a dragon larger than me in combat before, I was with through trickery and surprise, and I don't have that so much right now."
Well, see where I am standing, not literally, but you see, I I was of the impression that we were gonna destroy the black heir to the dread. Which,
She says, "Oh, we still can in Seriotherios, but those eels couldn't really work with those. I went down there to fight a dragon, not mobs of eels that would eat apart my flesh."
mhm.
She says, "I can see why you might be better towards that. I'm not here because I want you to fight the red dragon.
No.
No, I
Why
need an
are
edge.
you here?
I need an edge. I need the red dragon to be surprised."
And she like, her eyes are like almost shut as she like scowls. And you what?
She says, "Oh, I don't presume anything. If this pattern continues, I'm going to be fighting the red dragon right next to this eel fort. What happens next is up to you." We don't have to worry about any mobs of acidic eels underwater. The red dragon is only expecting me. And if someone came out of the shadows and, you know, I mean, you're an older and smarter dragon, we're cicatrix.
She stares at her for a bit.
This is totally Valigna's strategy. 100%.
You're like, yeah. Well, does not seem like I have much choice.
She says, "You do. Like, I wouldn't allow myself to die to Hezefe. I can outrun Hezefe. It would be highly inconvenient, though, were I to be defeated here.
Yes.
Then I'd lose my horde and Valigna's horde along with that. Oh, that'd be a huge setback."
I will help you.
She says,
Of
again,
course.
not asking for, fight, although I will fight.
Well, Citrix looks down and realizes she has transformed into a dragon. She was like, oh. And she look at her. I will help you, of course. We have an understanding, but I will not forget this method. And if we don't want to fight the dread in his own territory, I might now have a suggestion for where to go.
She says, well, that might work if that dragon was stupid and not a coward. This red dragon is stupid and not a coward.
She nods and look out to the sky. Well,
she says, this only works what I did because of how red dragons are.
She hates it, but Amy is so right. She rolls her eyes a little bit, from one sneaky dragon to the others. Red dragons really are.
There we go. We can bond over a hatred of red
I hate that you're right, but you're right. They are so annoying like that. Yes, yes. Well, I cannot let you die, and I have just acquired this territory, and it's not much worse if all the surrounding land is scorched by this not even holy fire.
She bobs her head and says, maybe there's something for you. Perhaps first pick from the dragon's treasure hoard. Maybe even first and second pick. Kill the dragon.
She nods. All right. Maybe, maybe she'll forgive Emissary, depending on what she finds. Right.
Bobs her head. Says, great. It'll looks towards the horizon, might be another day or two.
I don't know that it'll be that long.
She says,
they look like what does your dragon eye see? It's just fucking red guy. It's
my brand.
The sky is red. The hills are burning. Oh.
She says, yeah, I think so. So Rearmanthir informed me that as Hezefe confronted him on his flight up north, that she was scared away because he convinced her that he was sick and that she would get sick. And so I figure if Rearmanthir makes an appearance, that she might react differently.
She's like, yes, that he is still sick.
Yes. And also, it's part of how I taunted her. I told her that I had heard that she had been defeated by a silver dragon. She found this offensive. She says, yeah, so I'm going to inform Rearmanthir through Sending Stone to consider coming to the fort.
Where do you want to meet here?
She says, she looks up and says, I think the sky above here works great because the fort's actually large enough to hide dragons. Even Rearmanthir could hide. I mean, not that you couldn't hide anywhere, but, Rearmanthir.
There better be recompensation if any of my new property gets damaged from this.
She says, she's about to say it won't, and then she imagines a red dragon body falling and colliding with the fort. She's like, yes, compensation. Yes, I agree.
Do you give an explanation why you want Rearmanthir to come down there, or do you just say hey?
Absolutely. So Sending Stone happens, the fairies, stop their music, the dwarves, I go to the dwarves and inform Rearmanthir that Mizure is on the other end of the stone, looking for him.
Sure, he'll eventually be heard. Sort of, hello.
She says, "Good day, Rearmanthir. It is a pleasure to hear your voice again through this medium."
These stones truly are a marvel, are they not?
Yes, they were a gift from the Temple of Agma to ensure my favor, to try and curry it against the Copper Dragon Ophisterlegs. Valignith and I have made good use of them.
I've heard a lot of good things about these Ogma people. I considered visiting, perhaps, but then worried about how that might appear, considering that I have not exactly been as subtle with my position here as I perhaps should have been.
She says, "It would not be a problem inherently. There are adventurers within the town of Redensir that are not favorable towards dragons. The Agmites, of course, are very protective with their arcane ballistae against any potential threats, but if you did not present yourself as a threat, they would not be immediately hostile."
I have nothing against them.
No, they have been of value not just with these stones, but also through information I have garnered about circumstances that have been pertinent to Malignant and I's actions.
And I suppose you trust that this information and knowledge is secure with them.
She says, "It is a..." She says, as if like she hadn't wanted to think about that. It's like, it's not important if they should do anything which causes it to become important, they will suffer in one fashion or another. They are now dependent upon the trade that I have fostered that comes through there.
I mean, I didn't mean to imply that they should suffer. I wouldn't go that far, but...
He says, "Knowledge can be forgotten or lost, even among them. They are only human."
Yes, exactly. And who knows what greed might motivate them to do with that knowledge, if it comes to it.
Yeah. Yes, so more pressing circumstance. The part of the Gulfmere forest is burning. I know you're not too familiar with the surroundings. There's a large forest that's east of my territory, across a body of water, and the grasslands south of my territory, along the trade route that I help foster, that's burning. Just completely on fire.
I'm not sure if I'm particularly well suited for putting out fires.
She says, "No, but you would be well suited against the cause of fires."
Was it lightning strikes?
She says, "Animals would not react as they have because of lightning strikes, nor would lightning strikes spark that the kind of devastation."
Well, that was a rhetorical question.
She
I
says,
suspect the reason behind those fires is connected to me.
she said, she pauses, had not expected Rearmanthir to say that, and says, "Possibly."
Oh, I really should have stayed more subtle somehow, I think, and... well... It was inevitable.
She says, "So here's what's going to happen, Rearmanthir. You're going to come to the fort that where Cicatrix has taken control of recently, and you're going to lurk within the walls of the fort, as where Cicatrix is. I am going to accost and lure Hezaphe, the Midnight Sun, near the fort, and begin fighting the dragon. She will suspect it is just a singular confrontation, and will not be prepared for other dragons appearing."
Yes, I suspect the concept of cooperation will be quite foreign to her.
Yes. There's a pause. And she says, "Actually, Rearmanthir, this is not your fault."
I appreciate the kind words, but her coming north to try to find me was inevitable. And even if she's not here for me, perhaps it is simply her nature to, on occasion, erupt in anger and flames. Still, she should probably be stopped. She is rather close to what you consider yours, I believe.
She says, "Yes, she is." And she, bit stunned. Had not expected like her confession to just like get shut down like that, and she's not going to make another attempt at the confession. Says, "Yes, head for the Eel Fort after you make whatever preparations you find necessary, and wait therein. I will confront and lure Hezaphe. I am best suited for this."
I do wonder if Velignov would have attempted to include her in whatever exact plan he has for everything in general. I'm still not quite sure how that is exactly supposed to work.
She says, possibly had Hezaphe recognized Velignov's advantages from Tiamat and been willing to listen.
Both of those things seem fairly unlikely.
Yes. And Velignov was certainly not afraid and not unwilling to destroy when he thought it best. There's another pause, and then besides, this gets done, and actually start to rebuild your horde.
I would like that very much. I've left much behind, and, well, at the time I wasn't too bothered about it. I do find myself wishing I had taken at least some of it.
This is great. We'll talk soon. And then she gets off the sending stone.
Rearmanthir lets out another of his, at this point, iconic "what am I even doing" sighs before heading up through the Dragon Fane, and we'll take off towards the fort.
Mm-hmm. I think before she leaves her lair, she will grab the battle standard of the Fiery Legion, like in a claw, much as she brought with her to visit the Fire Giant. She'll carry that with her as she flies up.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Give a role play pause if Rearmanthir and Cicatrix want to interact before I go attract a red dragon.
Wait, did Monsieur explicitly say that Rearmanthir would be staying in the fort?
I think so, like lurking behind the walls of it, yeah.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, he was already given permission once before, so it shouldn't be a
Ah.
problem.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he'll be there an entire day.
No, she will go to the room, like a storage room, and make it a little messy. She made a mistake. She was uncharacteristically kind, and it was embarrassing, really. That's what it was. And yeah, you gotta make sure that it is not, spray a little acid, just. It's not a hotel. No.
Dragon Hotel.
It's not. That's the fate. That is literally the fate. That's
True.
what Rick wanted. He wanted to
That is explicitly the dragon fade.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll go miserable a bit, and then she'll wait.
She'll be told by people running down that there's another dragon. It landed on one of the towers. Well, the only standing tower. You know. What should we do?
You grumble. Send him in. She wonders again, why is she doing all this? Then she sees Yapple's awful face in her mind. She's, oh yes.
It was so
Oh.
pretty and young, you know? Just so
Yeah.
happy.
No, she's not. See, when you imagine her, she's got that like horrible smirk, like,
Yeah,
oh, you
that,
wish you could touch me, but you can't.
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
best. So
that smug diviner smirk of
Yeah,
knowing
exactly.
it all and
Like,
having prepared for this.
I know you want to kill me, but I gotta be friendly with you because I can afford to. It's like, yeah.
She basically did to you what Malignus did to Rimenthir and just monologuing. The hell of
Yeah,
it.
but she did it for like
Yeah.
years
Oh, yeah.
while torturing me. I didn't have the pleasure of not being there.
I mean, she had pretty good reasons. Self-preservation. Wouldn't we all be so motivated under
You were an
self-preservation?
You know,
I'm a yaffle apologist.
But yes, and then she will perk up a little bit. She can survive this stuff.
like, the people
She
would
can
have
host
no idea, by the way, what it means to let the dragon in. Or show him in. Let's go out there and look at the dragon.
The guy that they
Ah,
never stand in its way. It's like she doesn't expect that.
yeah, that is like they don't know how to handle all this. They're very new to this,
That's fair.
The Marked are just like, I mean, those that are here are just wickedly sort of mean and cruel people, but the
Yeah.
newly joined ones are just a little overwhelmed with this whole situation.
It's a lot happening.
Monsters of alien intellect that could devour them or smash. Like, I mean, it's like Jurassic Park, except they're all like incredibly smart as well,
We're all velociraptors.
and evil, like actively malicious.
Wow.
I-
I mean,
Have you seen those velociraptor faces?
it's
Okay,
it's
maybe
right
one of
there.
you is unaligned, but it's none of the ones that are complaining about it.
Yeah, it's fine. She'll.
Yeah. With Verminthir and Wercicatrix hiding behind like the walls of the fort, where even Verminthir couldn't possibly be spotted.
Well, I mean,
I mean-
we're probably gonna hide inside. Like, it's
Yeah.
flying, right? Depending on how close you're getting, but like.
Yeah. I don't know how close I'll be able to get, but since I do have the speed advantage, I might be able to determine that.
If
much
she's
more.
not too close to the fort.
It's my privilege. So, with that there, like, Zure will, banner in hand, will start flying off for the burning grasslands to the south, looking for a red dragon.
Yeah, she'll see us if we're probably even on the ground, like just like having caught like one of the big rhinos and just trying to throw it around, like probably just loudly proclaiming in Draconic some of her.
Bad.
standard, something like, like no treasure nor servant could ever be worthy of my magnificence. The fires shall herald my coming. Screaming,
I need
blowing
you to
fire
not
in the
go
air.
immediately, so I can keep hearing this monologue from Sophie.
Her body certainly is very much that of like a sort of like a T-Rex with oversized forelimbs and then just big sort of bulky bony wings. Little spines covering her back.
Looking at that togered face didn't remind me of a T-Rex. I didn't want to bring it up.
She's sort of very bulky, thick, as it were. So,
I think,
slang.
yeah. See, I think the roar call out will be me. We craft this as a Misere would. You've already lost twice to smaller dragons. Have you come to lose again, Hezefe?
It will sort of look up, and the eyes, the pupils are dilated, will sort of narrow in completely. As it's probably just like stomps and stammers and thrashes around for a moment at the sight of Missouri and screams, "My vengeance knows no limit!" before taking off, like sort of a running.
Are we really gonna kill this dragon? I love her.
Jump, spreading out the wings. I am Tiamat's favorite daughter. I am the envy of Malar. You will know nothing but pain. Screams out as it.
Oh, if only the chosen of Tiamat were here. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. I wish for thickness with you.
Oh well.
For this
So,
moment.
Well, Emmy immediately like pirouettes, like as like this fucking like angry fucking red dragon like takes off after her, and she fucking books it, flies for the eel fort.
Because Esme still has a dented scale on her head from where she crashed into the cliff. As
Mm-hmm.
just from behind, probably a screeching, roaring dragon will yell something like, "There will be no world under which you can hide when I'm done. All is fire."
She.
Her and Nicknames would have been such good friends. It's better that we kill him before he's back.
Oh my god, they would have been like wonderful mates. Like it would have been terrible. We can't let this happen.
Terribly great, you mean?
Shit. So I think my goal here is to land close to the eel fort and sort of like plant like the banner like down, which as a reminder of that magic item, the battle standard of the Fiery Legion. I'll go ahead and post this in the Discord. When you plant the battle standard in your space or adjacent space, it creates a zone in a close burst 10. You and each ally in the zone gain resist 10 fire. And can also choose to have any attack that we make deal fire damage, which is not going to be a choice I make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll say about Heseves's speed is her speed is great in overland flight because it's speed she picks up.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of momentum, so to speak. And certainly when she's at her maximum speed, she doesn't turn. She just sort of cannonballs through the air.
That makes sense. She is a bigger dragon.
Yes, she is. She is the largest that a large dragon can be. Before becoming, she's not the size of huge, but
she's a red dragon anyway, so she's like right there.
Something more if we're giving this. Like, if we actually defeat her and get her corpse, I feel like they can make a lot of cool shit with all the dragon bones. I feel like
I think this will be more fitting for fire giants anyway. Like they can recognize and understand like red dragon body. I don't think black dragon body would be as appealing.
We have a like a cut to the to Orsvak, to the watchtower. The fire giants watching the smoke plumes and.
I think that's all. Yeah, that also works like great showmanship. Like, what could this be?
Okay, something's happening. It's not their concern, but something's happening. Yeah. You have Diane, who have probably moved forward with some of his people, and then seen, and then being like, "That is not my issue,
not my concern."
Back the other way. Yeah. Yeah, and you wish to so the plan here to mechanize it, I guess, is to draw. I mean, she will follow you, trying to pick up speed to just sort of body slam you if possible. Um, and she doesn't have eyes or care for anything else. I mean, what could you possibly have that could be a threat to her
Right.
might? Nothing. It's impossible for you. You're a lesser kind. Any plan you have, she will figure out instantly because you're a stupid dragon. She's incredibly smart. You know, her pride knows no bounds. She will scream as she moves forward. She's proud of her pride, as she's proud of every other part of herself.
Mechanically, the plan is for me to stay ahead of her long enough to reach, just close to the eel fort, land and plant the banner.
Okay.
And before, I immediately get drawn into fighting.
Yeah, let me just. This might be good enough. I'll light some fires, and then we will just make a little space here for battle.
We've met dragons that are very much embracing their nature. It's nice to meet a red dragon that's very much in a line with red dragon.
I made the Dragon Hills map. That seems like a good place to have this.
Okay.
And then I made a little battlefield. She will. It might not look like this now, but it will. So, seems thematically appropriate.
Oh goodness, yes.
You can copy your tokens in. Remember the damage and powers you used last time are still expended. You have had a short rest, obviously, but not long.
Great.
Which map are we again?
The Dragon Hills.
I know there's a lot visible right now, but
yeah.
Dragon
Hills. Okay, gotta load a bit apparently.
You can hide. Well, they're all kind of relevant. Big enough map.
Yeah, it might
The
be.
map is big enough if the Rune Priest would be sad. Yeah, you can sort of this banner has a radius, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has 10. I was gonna draw it on the board.
You can put that down if you want. You have enough speed. You have a lot more maneuverable than her, certainly. So you can get ahead a bit to set up if you want.
Cool. There we go. Close burst 10.
The others can be at the edge here if they want to come from the fort. Being able to move there and be hidden at the beginning, certainly.
She flies, plants the flag here, and then pirouettes. We can never tell Malignant about this. I gotta preserve my character.
I think that would mean we would have to.
You keep killing the dragons you could be great friends with.
I know, right?
Wow.
Holy shit.
True, she's just a jealous sister.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's I don't actually think that he and Hezefe could be friends. I think they're too alike in that destruction zone.
I am the best dragon. No, I'm the best.
Yeah. She looks at you how I am the beloved of Tiamat. She would look at
chosen.
Yeah, and she would know for a certainty that he was chosen of Tiamat.
She would hate it.
Yeah. It would consume her.
That's so bad. Oh Lord.
Yeah. Do you have any other put that arrow that's her momentum at the moment? She's going very fast in that direction. Yeah. Should we just do initiative? That seems
I think so, yeah.
appropriate here. For Hesifying.
I think we should. I cannot use my initiative macro. Madcap, please.
It's one of these. Yes, I can do that again. There we go. Now we should be able to. Good.
That is not correct, however. Let me roll that again because I have advantage on
We have
this.
a plus 17. Oh my.
That is
I was
better.
gonna say I also have a feat that gives me 2 initiative rolls, which I'd forgotten because
Click it
apparently
twice and then.
yeah, when I printed my my PDF,
Yeah.
it didn't take it.
Yeah, the macro should be editable to like a 2d20 d1, but
I can do that. But let's for now just do. Okay, yeah, okay. You all have very good initiatives compared to.
So ready.
yeah, I don't think you guys should show up this round though. I
mean,
think like
No, I mean you would spend a round to get here.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
I
I
would
figured-
not
oh,
be
yeah.
as being hidden at this moment. And you'll appear. You can appear anywhere in this like back line, wherever you want to be. You know, as long as you announce it, essentially at the end of a. Now you made your actual tokens hidden. That doesn't really work out, does it?
He's like, where am I?
I'm looking for the hidden state instead of the.
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
yeah, there is a hidden
Oh,
state.
but the
We've
pictures
we've
come
made
from-
use of it before.
There we go.
From wherever
Yeah.
is the most concealed, because that's the way she.
You could be like behind some of this.
Yeah, that like
forest,
that,
or you could
it's
be.
not very
Possibly
practical.
does not care about you right now. It's not as you care about any of the other stuff that might be going on.
No, but I'm a sneaky dragon.
I'm actually just gonna put her name as her name now because we know she's a red dragon. I feel like it's
She identifies as a red dragon.
add a lot of information to the conversation.
Pronouns are burn them all.
If it's the red dragon, then maybe that's
Heir to the red dread.
She would call herself, if asked, the heir of Jazar, but that's a whole different conversation. All right, Emuzure, you react fast as if it basically comes in over the. I suppose you sit down, you've planted the banner, and you see the dragon just sort of coming on this. She's currently going in this direction, meaning she doesn't turn easily, but she is very fast as she cannonballs directly towards you.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. It's remarkable that my character reacted this fast. It's almost like she knows. Shit. I think I'm going to delay. It's a free action. She's basically just going to like extend her claws and say, come, lose to me again.
You just don't know when to quit.
Yeah, I'm going to delay until after her.
All right, well, we can put you behind then.
Yep.
She, when she moves over land and in the direct line, can move 12 with her flight. So she'll do so. Straight, and as you are still in a straight line, she will turn that into a barreling charge.
Okay.
To just go there and make her bite attack with a +1 to hit.
.40 versus armor class, and I think this is so appropriate.
A natural 20.
Okay.
I suppose as her mouth will close around your face, the size of difference there being something. So let me see here.
It's from one last session to 20. She rolled a 1 with her charge last session.
Yes, she did. She's been very mad now for a couple days. I guess it stacks her rage. Let's see. Max damage. Yes. Okay, so that's 44 damage and 18 fire damage.
Which will be reduced to 8. Okay. It is most appropriate here to sell the brag that I will use Iron Warding as an immediate interrupt to reduce that damage to 0.
Oh.
Sure. As hard as iron as the red dragon just barrels like right into her and the jaws come for her face.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, she'll charge and smash it into, or try to get you with the charge. And as that is a charge, her turn will immediately end.
Okay.
Having landed and sort of probably made like a deep furrow where she landed.
Yeah. Imizuri is glad that she was able to turn her entire body into iron for that, because holy fuck. Whew. I think as a standard action, she rears back, like the iron like phasing off, and she says, "You're a loser, and you always will be." As like rock and Scree like rises from like the ground, and she lashes out with her living fortress attack against Hezefe. 28 versus armor class. Yuck.
Misses. Strikes scales covering Dragon's body.
Half damage, so 16 damage.
Roars and hisses.
And will grant me cover. Okay. A move action will be converted to a minor action to give myself 9 temporary hit points. Woo! And the minor action will be sent to mark her. Not that there is any doubt in my mind of what's happening.
She knows what she wants.
Yep. That's the end of Imizuri Leaderthir's turn.
All right. Do you two want to appear this next round, or are you good?
I mean,
well, as soon as possible, really.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll, man.
All right, then you'll take basically your full round to fly to where you are now. Do you want? You can be landed or in the air if you want.
Romanfair would prefer to be flying.
Sure, just mark your tokens.
Yes.
As Hezefe is mad, very mad, and probably just like, God. Let's see here. What you got? She's got a lot of various things. I think the first thing though will be to just open her maw. As she tastes the iron, probably just transitions directly into, like, it's cinematic, happened very fast. So she bites the iron like of Imizuri's face basically, and her teeth just like crack slightly, and then she'll just transition that directly into a breath of flame.
Okay. 25 versus reflex misses me.
In a large breath, and there's half damage.
Half damage is 12, and I take 2 of that. Okay.
Yeah. Then she'll spend action point. Follow that up with a great bite attack.
That will miss because of my cover.
She bites a bunch of stones and just chews them around.
Swats them out of the way.
Roaring and stomping around, as it were. Imizuri.
Okay. Imizuri's turn. Imizuri will look at Hezefe. Let me retract that. It's a fucking stupid statement. Of course you're fucking looking at Hezefe. You want to not look at Hezefe? What the hell's wrong with you, Grimmeth? Will sort of recoil like her body as as a standard action, lash out with an augmented knifing wind attack to generate a psionic wind to like hit the red dragon's like revenge, like anger-addled brain. 28 versus our class again. Gross.
Another miss.
All right, that's 6 damage. I think a move action will be for her to sort of like shift here. Prance around the dragon. Minor. Yeah, minor. We'll go ahead and use that to breathe poison at Hezefe. 29 versus reflex.
That hits. Reflex
12 poison damage.
Defense. Strong for her size, but the weakest, surprisingly.
I don't get half damage on mine. Fucking red dragon bastard privilege. That'll be the end of my turn.
Sure. Rementhir.
Rementhir will fly into view as he'll shout over to Hezefe, "Hezefe, You should have never come south. You could have stayed in your mountains, but no, you always have to push too far. Red dragons. As he will shoot her with ice. I heard red dragons like that a lot. Frost Flash, 38 versus armor class.
Yes, that hits.
10 cold, and she's immobilized.
Oh no.
And probably no longer hidden as well, remember?
Yes, probably not.
She'll just like feel that cold and then roar and say like, "My flames will boil all the ice to steam." Undeterred by the appearance of the second dragon.
All right.
Your weakness is apparent in your trickery.
That's beautiful. It's very far away.
You can sneak up if you want. I mean, she doesn't care about you.
Yeah, just I don't know if I can actually make it there.
You'd have to be like move and charge because
Yeah,
that's
I think it's nope, I can't do that either.
well, you can move and charge. You just wouldn't be able to like get like behind her, but we'd still probably be flanking if you were there.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
You can't charge there though because it's not the closest square.
Here,
I suppose not.
Yeah.
Not drawing with a ruler. Yeah, that'd be there.
However, there's an immediate reaction when you move in behind Hezefe to flank her. As almost instinctively, the big tail whips your way, try to knock you backwards.
That misses.
Okay. I cannot see anything. What? Where
Yeah,
is the
can't see it?
roll? No, I just have to adjust my chest.
I was about to say like I don't.
30 versus reflex.
Yeah,
No.
30 versus reflex misses for Cicatrix is 31.
No. Whew.
Oh, well, you meant to jump over the massive tails. It swings behind her.
Whew.
And you can attack then. You have combat advantage because you were hidden. So
Oh,
and a plus one for
well.
charge.
I mean, it's just melee basic attack, you know. It's not.
That is a miss.
It's
Natural
horrible.
one seems.
That's a 1.
Yeah.
Well, get the battle rolls out. Okay.
I guess maybe the tail was unexpected.
It it was. All right. Well.
I'm gonna call Hesefe still hasn't noticed.
He's just wagging.
Like,
Like, oh, I'm gonna murder this dragon so hard.
but she is certainly flailing about as she
Okay.
finally sees she can recover.
Oh, well, that's me. Can't.
No more breath weapon. Okay, well, so be it. We'll try to bite Imizur. I mean, that seems to be what has to happen here.
That will hit even through the cover.
Um,
Okay, that'll be 3 fire damage, so that's 36 damage. 28 plus 7 minus 36, 99 hit points.
Most dragons are trained to use both wings and claws and everything. Hesefe doesn't seem to favor her claws much. She seems to be a one sort of just bite. She likes to bite and rip things apart as a thing, and so she doesn't.
Yeah, a huge gash appears from the teeth.
Claws are for inferior dragons. Real dragons use their bite.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's still like frozen. Is that a save effect?
It's
No.
end of next turn.
Okay. Imizure.
Mizure reels back from like the bite and like snarling out, lashes out with the claws to swat at Hezefe's face, much like she did with the Mind Blade attack. This will be a 2 power point Twisted Eye attack against Hezefe. It'll be a 41 versus armor class.
That certainly hits. Yeah.
21 damage. Hezefe is blinded until the end of my next turn, and she'll take an extra -1 penalty to our attack rolls because I have an adjacent ally.
-1. All right. Is that additional -1?
Yeah, an additional -1.
She roars.
Missouri sort of prances over here and says your mind is weak and you will be defeated here. That'll be another return.
Yeah, Rover agrees. He is gonna keep circling above and shoot some more cold at her.
You'll have combat advantage because Hezekiah is blinded.
It's true. That macro doesn't work. Nice.
Rays of cold from his mouth. A controlled version of.
Why does the macro not work?
I don't know.
That's why it doesn't work.
Lack of a bracket.
Work now? Yes. 32 versus Fortitude for 12 damage.
Hits. 12 damage.
Whew. And I will not slight her. She's fine where she is.
She probably screams something like, "The only failure is killing you without the pain you deserve." Or something.
Shift.
My vengeance is greater than any that anyone else would feel.
Well, I think this is kind of a big deal fight. I feel this is time to use my, where is it? Utility power meditation of the dagger, which gives me, my D6 instead of D4s because that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try and use my. Wait, God, this game, all the daily powers.
Sounds like a burden to.
Yes, it's not, but it's a lot. Yeah. No, we're gonna try this. All right, we're gonna try and do trick strike.
That is a miss.
Wow, that is. Yeah, I'm guessing 28 would not do it either.
No, my 28s have missed.
Yeah, well, until the end of the counter, each time you hit the target, you slide it 1 square.
All right.
No miss damage on that daily. Gross.
It's a low level one. It's really just for the slide.
Okay.
Well, you get the effect no matter what.
Yeah.
I suppose you try to get in motion to begin using Hezekiah's momentum against her.
Yeah.
She's blind. We'll see, because there's a very logical thing to do when you're blind, but she can do it. Then the thing is just her mouth opens and out comes fire in Mr.'s general direction, which I believe as a burst attack is uncaring for concealment.
Yeah, she'll just have the -1.
One, yeah. Burp.
Yeah, that definitely hits through my cover and blinded. I'll take 18 of that. Okay.
Yeah, so just fire spewed out as she bends down and breathes wide, burning like a sort of massive patch behind as well.
Ow, 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 ow.
She'd love to do that again, but she can't, right? Turns out she's not as angry as she will be later. Yet.
Okay.
That's ominous.
Is just mad enough to be more mad than you've ever seen a dragon be, and then she'll surpass even herself.
Okay. Yep. Missouri, I'm taking advantage of Hezekiah still being blinded here. Recovering as parts of her body flake away and just searing flame covers her. Will rear back her entire body, including her tail, to lash out to try and slam the red dragon down to the ground with a 1 power point brutal barrage attack. Take me to 6 power points. That'll be the lowest will be a 38 because I have combat advantage.
30. Wait, that's the lowest is a 38. All hit.
Yeah, lowest of the 38. So that'll be 24 points of damage, and Hezekiah falls prone.
And she's knocked to the ground. We're just Ashley breathing, pushing through, smashing.
She says, "That's where an inferior dragon like you belongs. Just where I put you days ago." I don't have anything else that I want to... I can do... No, so that'll be the end of my turn. She's no longer blinded.
She can see over the burning fury at this insolence.
Reverend Fear is gonna keep circling.
I am not upon the ground is upon me.
That is some malignant wisdom right there.
Yes, I love her. Oh,
And Reverend Fear will attack her with more ice. This time, spiky ice. 40 versus reflex.
Oh yes, definitely.
13 cold, and if she doesn't move at least 2 squares on the next turn, she takes an additional 6.
No, as you make the ground around her cold. Yeah.
It's I believe the ability is technically lightning damage, but I reflavored it. I hope you're okay with that, guy.
It's fine.
I don't think it makes a difference. And that'll be his turn. I don't see the reason to use anything big yet.
Cicatrix.
yeah. I mean, surely we'll hit one time, right? Like that's a thing. Oh, is that a crit?
43. Woof.
Is that a crit?
Most certainly it
I
is.
do believe. Oh, well,
Okay.
Buckling
okay.
onslaught.
Is all the also well. We start with the sneak attack,
All right, so we're at 30.
and then we have the offhand, and then we have the critical hit dice.
Okay.
You crit on 18s, right? Then the offhand is also a crit.
Does it trigger again then?
The offhand doesn't. That can only trigger
No,
one.
but
Crit damage
yeah.
with your offhand weapon would.
Yeah, there's no damage on that. That's like a number.
Okay.
I didn't have money for 2 magic items.
Yeah, the mind-boggling onslaught isn't 15, but instead it's like with your dagger dice increase to it.
24.
Yeah, 24. 24 plus 15 plus 12
Off
plus
that
15.
should actually be 16 instead of 12 because that's also
So we're looking at 70.
Also, I suppose I can slide it, but I'm fine with it where it is. She can stay.
Playing on the cold. Sure.
Yeah, she's got a -2 penalty to her attack rolls until the end of her Cicatrix's next turn because of the rattling.
And I can sustain it with a minor action.
Or end the penalty and daze the target until the end of your next turn. Okay.
Yeah, so consider that being kept on forever now.
Yeah.
And move. I mean, I'm good. I feel good about this.
All right. Has favorable.
Wait. There's
Yes?
the thing, the critical thing. When I crit, there's my Paragon Path thing.
Currently, you have sneak.
Minor action. I can do that instead of move, so I can do my critical opportunity.
Sure.
Because I did in fact crit something this turn.
Yeah.
It's another. Okay. That also hits then for another 21 damage.
Okay.
I suppose it's like she's laying there in the cold, like doesn't like the cold. Cold's unpleasant. Has been knocked on the ground, but can see again as she looks up at Emisure. We just see it from like Emisure's point of view. Vrsikas is just going like almost on top of her, just like I don't know.
Ripping down into the body of the Venture.
Claws and bites and like
tearing and ripping and whatnot.
Yeah, you know.
He probably just roars like that's painful. You know, like that's a lot of damage. It's almost 100 damage there in one sort of go. Twisting and turning and pouring it.
Yeah, the secretary feels good.
Yeah. Getting the fire breath back. You gotta bite when you can bite. We'll stand up. She can't breathe as a minor action, turns out. We'll try to bite at Imizure here.
That will definitely hit.
It is a natural 20 again, but just with the -2 hence it's a lower number.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I mean, we can just go up here and just find out the damage, right?
Yeah.
Since I wrote it, so I don't have to calculate it again. Somewhere up here. It's actually further away than I thought.
So, me too. I was scrolling up as well.
Damage and 18 fire.
44 damage was that? Okay.
And 18.
44 and 8 fire, which will be 81 minus 52. 29 hit points. That's definitely enough to bloody me, and will trigger as an immediate reaction the weapon of Shared Wrath to allow Cicatrix to make a basic attack against as a free action. Is that a crit?
That is a crit.
Oh, this is great.
A natural 22. It's not like this expanded
I
crit.
know, it's not even my high.
Okay, that would be should that be a d6 damage there? So that would be 16 plus
was that the wrong melee basic attack I hit? It was. And then the offhand, of course. 30. Well, plus 2.
It'd be 32.
32 just misses.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's right.
So let's see here.
16 plus 15?
Yeah. It's 31.
That's decent for free, you know.
Slicing into her. She's, you know what? She's angry at Missouri, but Cicatrix is getting some attention now too.
Oh no!
There's a lot of black dragon.
I have concealed that, so
fine. You know?
I know, it's almost like the cowardly black dragon there, just slinking to aha, jazz hands.
No, look at her pictures. He's not nice.
Look at all of these pictures.
Right, and suddenly someone throws like an angry tiger on your back.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens. A tiger.
All right. Well, that was her turn to bite and crit there. She will roar again. Probably something about calling. Well, just in anger, really. Like honestly, we've been very.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's lost for words.
Standard action's going to be a second wind. I get a +4 bonus to my defenses, and I'll regain an extra 14 hit points. So it'll be 32 plus 14. That's 46. So 29 plus 46 is 75 hit points. I'm no longer bloodied. A move action and minor action are not spent on taunts. That really fucking hurt. I think I'm just gasping over here. That'll be the end of my turn. Oh, also, Hezepheh took 6 damage there because she didn't move.
Yes.
She did not, it's true.
Yeah, I'm done with my turn.
All right.
Right. Drumanfear will beat his wings to gain a burst of speed, as he will pass straight over Hezepheh, perhaps as she lifts her large head, and will slice at her eyes with blinding talons. 24 with reflex.
24 reflex just misses.
Damn it. I mean, I can't argue that I was flanking because the attack was made like here, right?
It from above.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're not flanking with the ground.
No, the ground is not my ally. In that case, that
level thing.
That is disappointing. But such is life. That'll be his turn.
All right. Cicatrix. For Cicatrix.
You're muted, Ari.
Oh, I'm muted. Always. It's like the only fucking time you mute yourself when you're talking. Yeah, I mean, I just realized that my meditation of the blade, which is what gives me my damage dice up, is not even a stance. Which means I can transfer my move to a minor, And I can use my Executioner's Mind, which makes until the stance ends, all your attacks get the rattling keyword.
Okay.
Which means that if I hit, basically the +2 will, be taken care of even if I don't sustain.
Okay.
So we're just doubling security here.
Penalties.
If you keep rolling 20, your attack security won't matter.
I feel like this lady is hitting a lot. I don't particularly like it. Okay, let's see here. Blade vault. No. So my stuff is really not. It's fine. All right. We gotta do the tornado strike. Find the right one. Oh Lord.
Well, that is a miss. It's a natural 1.
Yeah. That again. I mean, we're with 2 different poles here. All right. Well.
Narrative-wise, now that the red dragon is paying attention to you, just like the
like,
claws come out,
no!
as if they swats them away with the tail.
We have not even been in 2 combats.
No,
that's correct. This is combat number 2.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't use my action point last time, so I do have 1. Which I was like, why do I have full search? It was like, oh yeah, we were in underwater cave. I didn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah, you only lost 11 hit points because the acid eels can't hurt you.
Sure. Well, I get tipped when I hit minions, or kill them. Anyway, I'll action point. I think that is. We don't. This was embarrassing. And we will try and use our blade vault.
that hits.
Which is not great, I didn't really shift. I guess I can. It's like I can shift and then shift back.
Sure.
I feel like
You can also attack if you want. Oh.
So that would be 8 extra if you allow me to do that before I do the attack.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'll use my sneak attack.
All right, so that is 27 plus 8 is 35.
13 plus 8 plus 13, yeah, 35.
The big dragon's back. You tell when you get some of the blood, it sizzles and boils.
I don't like that.
Burning. His face even more warm inside than the fire she created.
Good for her. That's my turn.
Stomping, roaring, getting mad at this point. Like, this is just, what is this? Right? She will look to the other dragons and look to him and say,
I have hit her for more than 100 damage and she is not bloody.
And Misery just did total defense in front of the red dragon's face. Not total defense.
Even in 3s, your inferiority is apparent. And then she will provoke from both of you because she's charging Virminthyr.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. Grasping Claws be 34 versus Reflex.
34 hits.
10 damage and she's slowed.
No.
Oh.
The lightning slowed.
Oh.
She'll get to over here, but you can't get in the air because she's too slow.
She says, at the side of the red Hesitate, "Where are you going, coward?"
Okay, once the action points. Around and just breathe fire on both of you.
Remember, -2 penalty?
Yeah, put it in her stat block.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's there to stay.
That'll be a breath weapon. This will be against Emmy and Cicatrix.
Ooh.
Let's see
So
here.
half damage still.
In her stat block, yeah, even with my bonuses from second wind and cover, a 36 definitely hits my fucking reflex. Good lord. It'll be 17 fire damage.
So half of 23, is that Is it 11 or?
11. But
Okay.
remember, in this yellow big square, there's 10 resist to all of you guys, so it would be 1 damage total for you. Because Emisuri planted a standard.
That's...
Almost like I made some preparation for fighting a fucking red dragon.
Wow.
Big deal. 10 damage reduction on every hit. Yeah, she is slowed for
until the end of my next turn.
That is nasty for that.
No, that feels real good.
She like tries to beeline after Rearmanthir, and Emisuri just like slows her down.
She likes charging, you know. Get some speed out there.
I can tell that. Well, I like it when enemies are slowed. I deal extra damage to them equal to my charisma modifier. Emisuri will like eye the bigger, scarier, like powerful red dragon, thinking of all the other powerful creatures she's fought, like Amath Phone Ren, Lord Winter Vipers. And I will 1 power point brutal barrage attack Hezefe. No combat advantage. Oh well. That'll be a 40, 30, 23, and 32. Looks like 1 hit?
Yes, 1 hit.
Okay, that'll be 10 plus 18 damage. 28 points of damage. Hezefe is not knocked prone.
Yeah. She's mad at both of you still.
Cool. That'll be take me to 5 power points. Emisuri will shift here. That'll be the end of her turn.
Rearmanthir.
Well, that charge worked out very badly for her. So
Hezefe is no longer slowed.
He has an idea. He's going to land over here. Here, I believe. Distances are important here. Yes. And we'll turn towards Hezefe, saying, "Your violent mind has no place here. I have not come here not just to escape the terror that ruled in my homeland, but also to find a new place to do something right. You have no place in that." As he will inhale and roar right in her face with a roar of terror.
Oh, no.
26 versus reflex, is that right? That should be versus will.
That would miss them.
Damn it. She doesn't care. Well, she still takes half damage, which is 8, I guess, or 9 if you round up. And she's dazed until the end of the next turn.
Daze. Alright.
That might last longer than, whatever save bonus that she has on something like days.
Pretty good native save for us, yeah. End of your next turn. Okay. Yeah, as the roar probably just takes her back as he turns around and looks in that direction for a moment.
Come and get me.
Shift.
Does daze stop her from doing reactions?
Yes, it would.
She would smack you with a big tail, but she can't. So
yeah, well, sucks for you, lady.
Yes, dazed. You can't take immediate actions or opportunity actions.
No. Stumbling a little bit.
Yes. Do we want to move up to her completely at one point? I feel like I could. I'll do my tornado strike.
That hits.
You just used your tornado strike. That's an encounter power.
Wait, that's the wrong one. Which one was I looking at? That was not the one. Sorry. This was the one.
The attack roll from the other one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Will hit. Dealing 14 points of damage.
Yes. And I still have advantage, so just gotta take another 18.
18. She is bloodied by that strike. As she is bloodied.
No! No!
She would react, but she can't.
Oh.
Um,
You know what? You're going to get a muddy after this.
I guess not. She
Like,
would
you
breathe
can
deeper.
you can take standard, move, minor, and free. You can't take immediate or opportunity actions.
She gets to do a free action to breathe fire using tricks. Spitting around.
Alright, that's fair.
Bonus fire breath attack.
Well, that is -2.
That is in there.
Oh, well, then I don't think I have +1 for shifting, and I have concealment. Does that account for all attacks?
Concealment does not care about you. Like, she doesn't care about your concealment.
Okay.
She's breathing fire on you.
Then it would hit.
26 fire damage. And
So does she takes force and psychic damage equal to that. So Hezepheh will eat 26 force and psychic.
So 16 fire damage with the minus.
Yep, it'll be 16 fire damage for you.
I don't like it.
And she, as she's now drenched in her own blood, will light on fire. Any creature that deals a melee attack hit on Hezepheh takes 5 points of fire damage, which normally would be devastating, but the banner essentially renders you uncared for that ability.
Yeah.
It would stack up quickly.
Yeah, it would. Gross. My brutal barrage. 5, 10, 15, 20.
She's now literally on fire. Her blood sort of
it's her turn, so
burning. It is her turn. She will try to recharge her breath. And now she is mad. Real mad, because now this is humiliating. And normally she might do something about that, but she's dazed, so it's gonna be as much as a single bite against Imizure.
Yeah, that hits through my cover.
All right.
That'll be 1 point of fire damage.
my lord, the damage is a lot.
That's 23 damage, and I already used my immediate reaction on a Mind Spike, so I don't have one. I'm at 23 hit points.
Oh, she's a big red dragon. She trips. Would say something again. She's dazed, so.
Okay. Let me look up this. No. 1 power point brutal barrage attack against Hezepheh. I have combat advantage, and she is dazed.
Sure do.
So, looks like a 35, 30, 37, and 28. Looks like 2 hits then.
2 hits, yeah.
That'll be, I believe, 32 points of damage, and she falls prone.
Crunch, and she falls prone, smashed into the ground. Basically making a little burning. At this point, she's been standing still so much, there's probably like a little hole there.
Crater.
Just like with fire in it. She lays there like a fallen comet, just twisting and writhing.
Yeah, that takes me down to 4 power points. She looks at, like, Resigatrix and Rearmanthier, and I think since Hezepheh is dazed and can't take opportunity actions, maybe Zure will take an action and sort of pull back here. Sorry, so you said Rearmanthier landed, so...
Yeah, he did.
She's going to get here. That'll be the end of her turn.
Like, we gotta squeeze up the tanks a little bit here.
Sure.
Even though I don't.
Rearmanthier.
Rearmanthier.
The bloodied, like, staggering body of Imi Zure, like, stands between Rearmanthier and the Red Dragon.
Rearmanthier will mumble something before sidestepping to get a better look on Hezepheh, and then will summon all the ice to freeze her in place with devouring ice, in fact. A massive stream trying to quench the Red Dragon's flame with the exact opposite for natural 20, which doesn't do anything, but it hits.
It certainly hits.
She is immobilized and takes 5 cold damage ongoing. Save ends both. Once she saves, she takes 16 cold damage.
Now, is the after effect damage maxed out on a crit?
I
think so. That makes sense to me.
makes sense. Okay, then it would be 26.
Especially with power like this when there's no other benefit.
Yeah.
You just roll.
Okay. It was like the fires are like temporarily smothered by like a blanket of ice over the red dragon.
Creeping over it, digging in. Locking her down, frozen with her own blood to the ground.
It's her own fault. She shouldn't have come here.
Oh, she's no longer
She's
dazed.
no longer dazed, yeah. But she is prone, so she still grants combat advantage to melee attackers.
So is she still immobilized as well?
Yes.
She just got immobilized, yeah.
Yes. Well, I will use you know what? I'm just gonna use my death strike. That's horrible.
That's a miss.
But it's okay. I got shift back. Oh, wait, she has reach anyway, doesn't she?
She does have reach. Yeah. She can
I'm
reach.
gonna shift. I'm gonna shift anyway. Right. A minor. I will. I'll use my dragon breath.
It's a
mean,
good
that
thing I
hits.
cleared out of the way.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, like looking. Yeah, we can do that.
9 points.
9 points of acid damage.
You know, hey,
Spraying it on her.
that's me.
Oh, she has these inferior elements. She'll take 5 ongoing damage. It's locked in place.
I said immobilized prone. Gross.
But we'll simply try to. This attack will be with an additional -2 because she's prone against Cicatrix.
Okay.
So that's a total miss.
Oh.
Trying to snap, but being frozen to the ground here for a second. Being safe. She saves.
Yep, she
Oh, no.
takes 26
Don't
cold
like
damage.
that.
26 cold damage.
Also gross.
Yeah, it's one of those saves. You know.
Yeah, like, good news.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Shaking off the ice. Just probably like taking a moment to just like breathe down herself to just melt, sort of overheat the ice.
Okay. Mizure uses a move action to come over here. Still like trying to like keep between like the red dragon and Rearmouth there. It's
Get an interrupting tail.
interrupting tail, that's right.
-2 to hit. Additional. Well, actually, yeah. So
That will miss.
It swings out across the ground, though, predictably.
Yeah, and Mizure was expecting that, having seen it against the black dragon. Uncharacteristically, Mizure trying to like defend another dragon. Not that she's tried to save Veristrix before. Got a reminder of that. As a standard action, she will lash out with 2 power points, attempting to cloud the red dragon's mind, as she did before with a Twisted Eye attack. That crits.
Oh, well. It's a lot of crits this fight. All right.
Okay, crits against me. So that'd be a 21 damage plus 3d8. 31 points of damage.
31. Slashing at the dragon's mind.
In addition, Hezefe is blinded until the end of my next turn, and she suffers an extra -1 penalty to her attack rolls
An
As a
additional -1. All right.
because of the Twisted Eye attack, and that'll be until the end of my next turn, both of those effects.
Mhm.
The very wounded Imizure is determined to try and put down the fight that she started, that she caused. That'll be the end of her turn.
All right. Raymond's there.
Rimenfear will move up like so.
She wants to charge, but she can't.
No, you cannot. As he'll sort of with a quick side glance towards Emmy, say, "You don't look so good. I do think that the two of us can finish this fight."
Mizure is so much no effort wasted that she looks at her with her and nods.
And then Rimenfear will lay into Heatherfey with his rending claws. For another crit. Okay.
Lord.
Let me just double check the macro. Yes, that was a roll.
25 damage and gains vulnerable 8.
No effort wasted, eh?
Say, I used all my dailies. My shit is gone. I suppose I could be sliding them around, fucking.
I have not used my action point, it appears.
Yeah, seems so.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who used his action point last session.
Yeah, I think so. So Revenfear will spend that action point. He could, in theory, move his speed. He's not gonna. Instead, he is just gonna try to slow her with a familiar attack with Grasping Claws for 1. Okay.
Not quite.
Not quite. A 20 and then 1. That's karma.
It has been very swingy.
That's been mine.
Alright, that'll be his turn then.
Cicatrix.
Alright, is he... What's the red dragon? Can it take reactions if I shift?
It absolutely can, but is blinded.
So it has a -5 to all attacks, plus the -3 that you've sort of stacked on top. So -8 total. So there's a pretty good chance you won't be hit. But yeah, whatever happens.
But is it
as for the tail, the tail is when you move into a flanking position. Meaning if you already flank, moving to another flanking position, you're good.
Oh well, I'll move here. It just looks better. Wait, then Emissary doesn't have flanking.
I'm going to disengage from this combat. Not from the combat entirely, but I'm going to get some distance.
Well, but did you want to hit it first and then go?
I think the dragon's nature is such that if Rearman Theory says get out of the fight, she gets out of the fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Vulnerable 8 be damned.
I will
Okay, that is 18 points of damage.
Okay, and sneak attack.
And an extra 8 for the vulnerable. I think that only applies once though.
Yep. Does per hit. Okay. Yeah. Should get ready to defend yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got the mouse on the basic melee attack for when she hits me.
She's blinded, and she'll stand up first and foremost. And then we'll breathe a fiery breath towards Rimenthir and Emissary.
Oh.
To be against Emissary, there will be no minus, actually, because of the 3 is in the stat block, and the 5 doesn't count for breath attacks.
That will miss me.
Yep, miss.
Oh.
Half damage though. Miss.
Okay, we'll take the half of the 9 as well.
Half, so...
-10 though.
It's 14.
So do you half first and then subtract 10, or do you subtract 10 first?
You take half damage.
Yeah, you take half damage, so you're looking at half damage, and then you subtract 10 from that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I take 4 fire damage. I'm at 19.
I love the difference in perspective because the Cicatrix is not even bloodied, but she's like, oof, I got, I don't like this. I got hurt. The black dragon, and Emissary is just she's more.
Mostly consists of fire,
mold.
It's a good thing all of my fights against other fiery creatures have prepared me for this moment.
Yes.
The world will burn. You will regret your mistakes. Surrender and your death might be quick enough for me to regret it later.
Okay. Well, I can. She is blinded, so I do have combat advantage. And I am about to move out of this combat. But before I do, she is vulnerable 8. I would be remiss if I didn't spend a power point for a brutal barrage attack against Hezepheh here. taking me down to 1 power point. So that'll be a looks like
Looks like
it's
2
gonna be
hits.
27. It's a miss. Yeah, and it's a crit and then a hit. All right. So even on a miss, she's vulnerable 8, so she still takes the extra damage. Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Just wanted to check to make sure of that. So
She's
that's
vulnerable everything.
yeah, vulnerable everything. So 14, 14. So that's 2 hits. So she's gonna fall prone from this. Plus 3d8, 68 points of damage.
Oh lord! What
Crunch.
the fuck?
It's that stacking of the
Ugh.
one damage, and on the other
Yeah.
hand, stacking 8 additional.
Yeah, that is her moment there. A vulnerable attack. Is the green dragon, so heavily wounded and covered with fire, sees no problems with just diving into the fire to knock the red dragon prone. And then I will
Covered in the burning blood, but
But Cicatrix respects it.
there glows.
she looks at Rearmanthier, she nods, she shifts away, and then as the final action of her turn, perform instant move to shift my speed.
I was gonna say, shift is not enough.
Oh, yeah, as basically I'm going to make it so that it's going to be really hard for her to charge me as I go right back here behind Rearmanthier.
Mhm.
That'll be the end of my turn.
She's no longer blinded, yes?
She's no longer blinded.
It's me immediately.
The green dragon just...
I like it.
Right, Remenfair will try another swipe at Hezefe in a very awkward position. An attempt to daze a 28 versus AC.
Misses.
Damn it. And the second attack doesn't happen because that needs to happen against a different target. So that doesn't really do anything. Great.
All right.
I'm guessing a 30 wouldn't hit anyway. Yeah,
No.
we're, we're just doing our thing. Oh lord.
Also a miss.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not great.
There is a version of this story where Rearmanthier says, "We got this," and then like 4 rounds later,
And there's like bushy dragon shredded.
this fucking T-Rex just chases after me.
Road ending up. Also,
Oh,
she's no longer vulnerable, right? That's a end of turn.
also,
Yeah, she's no longer vulnerable.
yeah.
She her recharge. She does recharge the breath. It's not what she's going to do right now. She is sick and tired of this black dragon constantly just tearing her body to pieces. At this point, like, she's a big red dragon and she has pride for days. But beyond that, in there somewhere, there's a bit of a brain that tells her maybe actually she's beginning to have a problem. Maybe. I mean, it's still far-fetched, but a glance to that banner. She will put her teeth on Cicatrix.
This will be at a -2 because she is marked.
And -2.
Oh, you missed her.
Oh, that's true.
There's no renewal of that. This will be 2 less than it shows. 36 AC.
Yeah. This is nothing
Right.
can.
35 damage, but no fire damage since it's absorbed. Banner.
Oh, I think I have some bloodied stuff that will go off. Yes, I do indeed. Okay, well, we will look. It is. Is that free? The first time you're bloodied during an encounter, you can make a basic attack as an immediate reaction.
Okay, you get 1 reaction. So if that's the one you want to take,
Yeah.
make the attack.
Well, it doesn't
Miss.
matter. Yeah. That's fine. Try a little bit. Move forward.
Imizuri.
Missouri like eyes like the situation, but it isn't in her inherent nature. Rearmanthier says, "We got this," and Missouri's like, "Yeah, you got this." I think I'm just gonna she skips turn. Yep, she skips turn. Smocks continuing to swirl around her.
All right.
Riventhir will... Time for this. So this minus penalty to attacks that she has from you, the Cicatrix, does she still have that?
Let's see.
I don't think so. Like, she missed and she didn't renew it.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
It's reduced while in the stance, but while not.
then it is time for Riventhir to do the same thing. By now that Hazafay has a back turn to Riventhir instead, Riventhir is gonna be the one to lay into her with some feral mauling. 30 versus reflex.
No, actually, that is not dependent on hit. I don't think.
I believe I saw minor action sustain.
Yeah. I just have that going.
Oh, okay.
You didn't. Okay, so you didn't. Okay. All right.
I mean, I would still get hit though. I think.
That is a hit. 14.
That should not be cold damage. That should just be damage, but I don't think that's relevant.
That still does full damage. Not resistant to anything.
And a save ends -2 penalty to attack rolls.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it stacks with the other penalty to attack rolls though, because it's a similar effect.
Different
Different
source.
source, though.
That's true.
There's no typing on that final penalty. It's not like a power penalty.
Yeah, if it was a type bonus, like that'd be one, or type penalty would be one thing, but it's not type.
Okay.
Cool. I'm
Also
very glad.
That should be 8 extra because the vulnerable lasts until the end of Riventhir's turn.
Sure.
There you go.
Your turn passed to the last turn with your Predator's Flurry.
It did. That is true. Never mind then. I completely suppressed that turn.
They're fast.
Is it time to to heal, or is it time to attack and hope that we murder it? I feel like she's gonna go for me again.
Probably.
I think the Cicatrix, she's, at heart a coward. She's gonna shift, but doesn't matter, she's still flanking. But she needs that, and then she's gonna second one. And, get the...
Heal using a recovery. Finally pulling out one of those healing surges.
Yeah. Oh, do you just use the healing surge and then it happens?
Yeah, you use a second wind as a standard action. You get +2 to your defenses until the start of your next turn, and
okay, just
yep, you get your amount.
Yes, that is. I mean, that's me. Wait, is that a full turn?
That's your standard action. Yes.
Okay, good. I can still have my minor.
Yeah, you can still use your minor to sustain.
Cool. It's me.
All
My
right.
my document is a lot of red crosses over skills right now.
Shift over here.
Does not look very inviting.
And
How
we'll breathe fire upon Riventhir and Cicatrix. That is Riventhir and Cicatrix.
Yeah, that hits.
It should be 2 lower from the because Missouri Literature is not included.
Yeah, that's also factoring in all the 1,700 million malices.
Yes.
Okay.
Still hits.
have you put in sheeps also?
Did.
The -4 to attacks.
Take from it though.
Of course you did.
Missouri.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. I still take half.
Yes.
You still take half, which is also then reduced by 10, but there is still a number there.
I mean, it's 19. Take the first damage number, so it would be 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
so good.
Yeah, Yvizure, still following Riventhir's advice. So she sees Hazafay rotate, and since the fort's this direction, okay, Yvizure will come this way, like so. That'll be another return. She just moves a bit.
You will be my meal. You will burn. Breathes. At this point, less eloquent even than before. But, certainly bloodied and torn.
Rivenfear will take a step up to be basically like eye contact. Let me actually do this.
Nice.
As he will hiss. Not quite.
There we go.
As he will hiss. When we last encountered each other, you could have killed me. You left for your own selfish reasons, of course, but I am willing to return the favor of that situation. Leave now, never return, and I will not pursue you.
Here's the thing. That seems like a very good deal. Now, for a dragon who is not, however, has a very inherently has no understanding of empathy or honor whatsoever, and so could not imagine a scenario where a dragon would act in such a way and be genuine.
All right.
It is simply not possible. Even for inferior, weak, crappy dragons.
Well,
Rightly.
I guess Rivenfear will... I mean, you can't really attack seconds after making the offer.
Ready a strike for when she attacks you?
Yeah, I'm readying a strike in 4th edition. Is that... In 5th edition, it's just a standard action, I believe.
Let me go ahead and look it up. Ready an action for 291. When you ready an action, you choose a specific action to ready. The act of readying is a standard action, so you can ready a standard action.
Then
you choose the action that will trigger it. If she triggers it, you would be moved immediately in initiative to right before her.
Okay, then Rivenfear will ready an attack if she shows further hostilities.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think the Cicatrix is gonna wait for this. That seems like a bad idea. She'll. What? Are they still flanking here?
You're not flanking right now, otherwise Rivenfear would have provoked it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You'd want to be on this sort of general.
Well, that's unfortunate. I don't want to provoke
Tail slap.
the slap. No, I really don't. But my sneak attack.
You provoke it, that provokes Rivenfear. It's a beautiful chain.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but can I even I can't? Can I shift here?
Good shift there.
Do I have advantage then?
Yes.
Great. Okay, slap me.
29.
No. Oh,
That misses, but that... I mean, is
that's hostile. I just moved, man.
Is that an intentional or like instinctual hostile reaction?
Tries to hit the Cicatrix with that tail.
As will. Does it unintentionally?
All right. I mean that triggers his ready action then.
No.
And you won't move an initiative at all. You could basically just like right here.
Yeah. Which will be like so. 38 versus reflex.
That hits.
If she doesn't want to leave, then now she's slowed.
She hates being slowed. It's the worst one. Well, that and like dazed and immobilized, I guess. But
Well, now
unconscious.
I will hit. Because of course that.
That looks like a crit.
crit.
Ooh, it does look like a crit.
So that is 18 points of damage. Let me just get that down before we crazy flurry of what happens next. 18 plus 15 plus 15.
Okay.
You got a
+2?
Plus 16.
plus 16 plus 2y.
No, I was just to these 36.
36 hits.
Oh, okay.
As you just savage her from behind, just ripping and tearing.
there's a cinematic moment there where Ribbonfear like attempts to like connect like with using empathy, and the red dragon just can't process it. Tail lashes out, Black Dragon like expertly dodges it.
Meanwhile,
lashes
Black Dragon is just rising behind it. Like she was never. There was no. She doesn't go behind it nicely.
Such a clever ploy Ribbonfear's doing to distract.
Yeah.
It's almost like like I can see like Work Sisters like on like top of Hezeph's like back. The fire like covering like
hit me with your tail because I'm on you.
Roars! She will never get to do her rage charge, where on a charge attack successfully hitting, she will actually get to do 2 claw attacks.
Oh no.
It's good. We're saving her because only inferior dragons use claws.
Basically, she pounces is what she does when she's mad, because then she doesn't care about not using.
That sounds terrible.
It's a lot. It's a lot of damage, but right now she can't do it because she keeps getting slowed or immobilized or thrown or something. She could breathe again, but you know what? She just wants to eat someone. Vercicatrix just did this. Like this silver dragon
Really?
is really annoying and bad. But at this point, there's also a little bit of self-preservation in here. A little bit. Being where she is right now, that is simply necessity. That'll be a bite.
Oh, misses.
Crappy attack.
It misses, and she attacks. I get to smack her.
Yeah, you get to attack smack her.
Yeah, with my riposte strike. If she attacks me, and
you jump on her back, she like moves her head backwards, right, to like try to bite. That's sort of like if you were on the back of a dinosaur, basically. Her wings like flapping. She moves back and tries to bite at you, and you just, I don't know, go for the throat.
There's an immediate interrupt.
Head is ripped apart.
Oh yes!
Striking at the exposed bits of like frozen off scales and cracks and breaks and cuts as the massive dragon has falls. However, she gets to do a raging attack as a reaction, which she currently there's no one she can charge, which would be her preferred action because she doesn't have the speed, so she will simply suffice for a bite at Vercicatrix, trying to get her as she is being got.
That will just hit.
All right, then you take a total of 41 damage after reductions.
41?
Yes, because you subtract 10 of the fire.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I know.
As she dies, like her mouth begins to just snap like a snake, just biting and ripping and trying to grab.
It's kind of the like triumphant moment of getting that nice bite of the like juice, soft like neck meat, and then the mouth just turns like probably like a little loose and just starts fucking gnawing.
As the ferocity kicks in. She stumbles a couple steps, like roaring, tail swinging. Like it's the kind of thing where like she's going down now, but cinematically there would be 20 more seconds of like of death sort of froze, right?
Bobbing and weaving.
Just breathing fire everywhere and everything. And then
talk, but she's basically biting the throat.
Roaring, like the sun does not set. I shine, my fire. Just screaming, unable to understand what is happening, like a child seeing something that is incomprehensible. Like this cold inside of her is some sort of ruse, surely, twisting and ripping and burning until there simply is no more ability to do so than slumping over to the side, like staring, mouth agape and sort of jaw hanging, probably like looking up, one eye, blood are dripping from it up on Verminthier, and probably even in this moment unable to understand the moment of realization that appears in Hezeph's eye as the life passes from her is not that of I am dying, it is that of he was still sick. And that is the only reason she was brought down.
Yeah, this is a dragon plague. Otherwise, she would never lost.
She perhaps that dreaded, admittance. As she falls. Leaving the place.
All the dragons are just staring for a little bit, like.
Yeah, I think so. Like, like Imizuri just like remains like like witnessing it. Like, just because like she's killed a dragon before doesn't mean like it's still like it's a beautiful, like momentous like occurrence like this happening.
Vesicatrix usually will like lick her claws from blood, and she's doing that, but she looks a little less like a triumphant. She's triumphant, but a little more like a cat after a fight. She's got like scraps and like some scales loose and such. Doesn't quite look as majestic as she could have. Nah.
How does Rearmanthir look, Chief?
Rearmanthir looks for a moment just still, sort of looking at the body of Hezefe, breathing heavily, then slowly calming down as he sits down, before sort of first looking at Vesicatrix and then back towards Emmy, with actually a fairly calm and pleased expression, as he says, "It is oddly calming that at least some creatures act as I would expect them to. No surprises. I have learned to dislike surprises."
Imizuri slowly nods her head, looking from the death throes of the dead, like cooling, like red dragon to Rearmanthir into Vesicatrix. Slowly nods, and she reaches up to her neck and pulls a sort of like a thong, sort of like a attached or like a makeshift thing that she's carried around it, from which she pulls a handkerchief-sized black circle. Walks over to the body with like the smoke, sort of like lays out like right here, the portable hole. She says, "I am going to need your help, both of you, in folding this creature into that hole to deliver to the fire giant."
We switched to a scene where it's like this somber, like, oh, we did it, but it was a hard fight. 3 dragons standing on a portable hole trying to mash the giant fat red dragon, just like, ah!
We like smash and like break then stomp the red dragon into the
like,
portable hole.
Trying to stomp, and she has no weight to put behind it. It's just like,
Remove the.
Like, how much can there be in the portable hole?
It is a 5 foot wide, 5 foot deep hole in the surface. So we're squeezing very much this large body, almost huge, into this hole.
Now this one is uniquely slightly larger than normal.
That's true, because it fitted.
It is 10-10, but so there is just room, sort of as a.
I was gonna say, because if it was not enough room, Mr. just might go inside and pull, but she's not gonna do that. Soon be stuck in here in the bit body.
It was just like airless or something.
Luckily, the dragon, like, Hezefe doesn't care if all her bones are broken. Right?
As you move it over, like blood drips into, lighting a fire inside the hole that sort of tries to ignite with every drop, but there's no air, so it like sputters and. She'll be, lobbed inside of a hole. Perhaps the battlefield around you, perhaps Imizuri being the only one with that sort of thought, looking around and seeing a battlefield that looks a lot like one she once explored at the edge of the lake site where 2 dragons once fought.
Yeah.
Now seeing one created by herself.
A lot of memories. The fight with Ovasterelix, the other dragon, it didn't possibly compare with like how this was in terms of like power and then like the carnage it caused.
Oh yeah. Ovasterelix's abilities were incredible swiftness. Well, Hesefe also relied on movement to be at her best and was denied that, like Ophisterelix. Her just brute force was quite a lot of a different kind. She would have eaten Ophisterelix for breakfast if she ever got the chance to.
Would have eaten us too for brunch.
I mean, she almost did. Like, look at you
For second breakfast, yeah.
Like fucking 24.
It is.
Raging charges and things would have been different.
It's a credit to our strategy, basically, in argument that I'm fucked up as a defender, but Rearman Theer is still mostly intact.
Yeah.
And we're Cicatrixes,
You know, I took a couple punches there. That's fine.
You did.
I have some defensive feats, and I mean they were not of much help here, but
yeah. All right. Well, we succeeded. Good.
I'd say God bless the fiery banner.
Yeah.
Yes, Visage does look at that with like very pleased.
Yeah. Mizure looks at that because we got that banner in part because of our Cicatrix's actions. Because we got that banner from the ship that we raided and stole from, and
yes,
it's going to be the battle standard of another legion.
And Mizure looks towards the banner and says, "Yes, we're Cicatrix. Found a use for that banner that we fetched from that prize vessel. It is good.
Yes, I will keep it in mind for any other fire occurrence."
Mizure blinks and then says, "Yes, it is for the best now that you should keep it." It is difficult for me to imagine making another use out of this. How many other stupid and suicidal dragons will we fight?
The Cicatrix looks pointedly up.
And Mizure also looks up.
At this guy and says, well, you mean some that we are not bound to? Yes, well, she narrows her eyes. This will not count towards the 2 pigs, however.
And Mizure says, she says, "Is that right? As far as I'm concerned, that does count as an item with Cicatrix." She points at the banner.
I did not. The specification was being picked. I will not pick them.
She says, "Then I do not think that the banner was part of the offer either."
That is fair.
She nods and says, "However, consider it a courtesy gift to you for your new acquisition here at the fort."
It's a shrug.
You could use something to color up the place.
Certainly is a lot more fierier than I expected. She looks around like, if this spreads, she might have to deal with it. But... yeah.
She inhales deeply and says, "I suppose the 3 of us then, before her minions or some other tries to move in, before the passing of the season, should try to find her lair so we can extract from it."
Yes. I would prefer facing the fire giant with whatever we can gain. I know that you are making an arrangement, but...
She looks confused at where Cicatrix. She doesn't understand where it's. I don't understand what you mean.
Basically, she's saying she doesn't want to go with the dragon body before we've raided the stash.
I don't intend to try and raid the dragon loot until after I've had a long rest.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, we could probably just swing short rest. I do have 11 more healing surges, but who knows what sort of
It's true.
Chicanery this dragon that's definitely older, more established, and that's an almost huge had in their lair. That's wise. At any rate, yeah. Gonna have a short rest. And then Emmy says, I can handle delivering this to Commander Vigdis.
Right.
And cause a schism. As like she folds up the portable hole back into the handkerchief. Puts it back in the thong, like puts the thong back around her neck.
I feel like they're all taking like a moment to look at that little thing and like just imagine like, but Cicatrix in her mind imagines how on earth they're gonna shake that dragon out. It's gonna be a sight.
She says, I considered dropping the body on top of the tower, but I'll be a bit more graceful. The request was a gift, not smashed. More than we already have.
Cicatrix nods, but she was saying, would have been a spectacle.
She says, we have already created enough of a spectacle. The scene will be enough for the fire giants to understand what is about to happen and what is expected of them.
Well,
go ahead.
Cicatrix is fine. With liquor wounds.
2 plus 32. Oh, hell, I'll just spend a 4th healing surge on top of that. I'll take me down to 7, but fully healed. And it's a milestone.
Get a milestone, yeah. So take an action point.
Yes.
Short rest if you want.
Yeah. I'm taking a short rest, alright.
Good.
Also, these are your most updated tokens. I'll just go on a little token purge here. Because we have some on every layer, and I want to get rid of some.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just be on those tokens for a moment here.
Okay.
Yes, I'm.
If you want to handle the token purging, that's cool. You can.
I'm doing it. It's happening.
Oh no! No! Did I change my mind? Yeah. Does Ribbonfear have any other like words or thoughts, Sheep? You think?
No, he's being fairly quiet, just looking at you mishandling the body, observing the battlefield. In fault, as it seems.
Missouri like looks back at him like once, like sort of like questions like forming, but she has developed a respect for Raymond there. Like leave him alone with his thoughts.
Yeah.
After the short rest, she takes off and she begins flying for the watchtower alone.
Yeah, sure. And now we can go to there. You guys can. I should have taken care of every other token of yours on the other maps, so you can copy them onto the Dragon Coast map, if nothing else. Put them on your hangouts. We can do the scene in the Giants Run Mountains though, with Missouri delivering the. Put Hesefe down there for you.
See that? Yeah. As a green dragon.
Yeah. Don't imagine you go hiding when you arrive, so they'll be ready. You know.
No. No banner, because that has been left with Cicatrix as a gift. Just the portable hole that's folded up as a green dragon lands, probably a further distance than what she landed the first time, because she like stared. She just had like a heavy fight. She's still like inhaling. She's still covered with like flame and scorch marks and like claw marks.
The commander and the allies watching the edge of the cliff. Sticking around these the hill giants liking to stick around their piles of rocks and such, you know. They love throwing those things.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that it's you, she will indeed descend from the hill. Some long treks, holding on to the edge and then like doing like a half jump down. Landing with a crush of dust and rumble of earth. Before she
Iron Man pose.
She walks closer. You return.
Without response, Missouri calmly like finds like a flat surface, like brushes aside a few things, reaches like from her neck, pulls out the small handkerchief, folds it down like in front of her to create a hole, and says,
Sure.
"Victus, if you would please come closer."
Raise a burning eyebrow and come closer.
Reach into this hole and pull out your gift.
She looks at him, like, this could be a trap of some sort. But on the other hand, the dragon, I mean, it's a sneaky one, but she believes herself with brave stuff. Perhaps for a moment, like she hesitates, right?
Amy enjoys that hesitation.
Considering the possibilities here. But then she'll cautiously move a hand
I think of the key.
and find like hot, like still smoldering flesh. Looking at Imizure still as she does. As she begins to lift, the expression will change slightly to a slight confusion, perhaps. Then there's more lifting and then narrowed eyes at Imizure before she puts her other hand and sort of moves down to have a lifting stance, beginning to heave up, more than straight up lifting this massive sort of probably tail first.
Yeah, Amy figured the fire giant would be strong enough with both hands to pull out the dragon.
Yeah,
But she watches.
She is in physical strength actually stronger than Hezefe, point for point. But she is incredibly strong. She heaves the dragon out of the portable hole, even like pulling it back quite a bit. Like, and perhaps as she begins to see what it is, making a bit of a show of it for the people watching. She hauls it out by the tail before we go and sort of lifting its neck up, not lifting the whole thing, but sort of the front of it, raising it up, looking at it, and then looking to Imizure with she forgot herself for a moment, showed maybe a little bit more bewilderment at the size of this thing than she meant to, as she gives. I think Imizure here has the initiative in that respect. She this is not the dragon that she expected to receive. This one is bigger than she thought. Quite clearly.
Imizure very much has a pleased expression on her face, and she voluntarily forfeits the initiative. She allows the fire giant to soak in the moment.
This is you slew this yourself. I saw the fires. I thought something was happening.
She says, "You hold the body of one who called herself Hezefe, the Midnight Sun. She dwelled south of here."
It's bigger than you. Was,
says,
I suppose.
"Not the first dragon I have slain, which was larger than me."
Impressive.
She says,
It's a skill I would one day learn. Slaying those of my kind greater in size than I am.
She says, "Then I hope that you get some practice in. For all of my life, I have been fighting creatures bigger than me."
She looks at this Hezefe and she'll say, "I have not. Most things I deal with are small, are weak, pathetic. This thing, though, must have been quite a fight. You more than lived up to our arrangement. I'll have to actually haul this thing up the cliff." She looks over for a second, thinking perhaps in her mind it would be easy to bring the whatever she got, but she smiles. She's amused. This is great, but also not what she expected. So, I suppose your dam will be yours for the time being. I myself will try to consolidate the tribes in the south of the mountains under me, under the new hierarchy. And what happens to the old? She looks to him and says, I suppose we should have a conversation about that.
She says, we can another time. You should exult in the gift and in what it instills in your lessers.
A time of rest and laziness, of indulgence, has certainly turned into one of work. I suppose I'll see you again soon enough.
I look forward to our continued conversations. Ancestral enemy.
She'll turn her back to Emisure. To
A
Hall.
compliment.
Hey, yeah. And maybe also a brag to her people. As she will begin to haul the freaking thing. Just she can drag it across the ground by the tail. A very sort of, maybe even to Emisure, a very undignified way for Hesaphae to be handled.
Yeah.
Me as a player is like, oof.
Drafted along.
Giant.
Bringing it here before yelling up something in giant that makes a couple of other giants have to move down and pick it up. Still begin to
it's beautiful. And Emmy's like, this in Emmy's mind, this worked out for the absolute best. This was the right choice, hauling this big bastard. Instead of the black dragon, she bobs her head. Yes, this all worked out beautifully. Then she pauses to reflect on what that means. Based on her sort of impetuousness on angering Hesaphae. She frowns deeply. She doesn't like where that thought's going. She takes off and leaves. I'll put myself off of this map.
Yeah. The giants will take the now dead dragon. And a new turn in their history will take place.
No, yeah, I seriously, when we killed her and started mangling her body, I'm the cicatrices wouldn't give a shit, but I am oh, that was a really powerful, majestic.
Majestic might be a bit much, but
huh?
Majestic might be a bit much, but she certainly was powerful.
Yeah, it's just in the world lore, not a tiny one. It's oof.
Yeah, the fire will persist a bit. It is dragon fire, but
Yeah, it's not by my fort, so.
Your minions can go out there and roast some eel.
Yeah, it's what I will do is go down in my flooded basement, and it's much nicer than all this fire.
Okay, Ari, I'm removing that banner off of my character sheet. It's now your responsibility to keep track of it.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to give me
in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it in the chat whenever I first used it, so the card is there.
I shall take it. Wow.
Yeah.
Just somehow has a duty over to me as a gift.
Yeah, once it's up, I'm now forfeiting responsibility of keeping track of it. If you lose it into the ether, other folks have lost magic items to the ether before, and it's hashtag not my problem.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Lord, that was.
So, what do you think, you two? You guys want to have a long rest, and if we don't get further interruption, then head south to try and find her lair?
I think I definitely agree that we should take a long rest first.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
again,
presume everything will be over together, well enough. With her reputation and, her minions, I think everything will be, fine. I don't think we're in, any super speed.
No.
I think we should have the long rest.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. During the week, Versicatrix will have a message from some of her marked in Sembia,
All right.
reporting that they have received a message for their leader from Westgate.
Okay.
The message bears a symbol they are not familiar with, and yet it just appeared on one of their desks one day, and appears to be an invitation for their leader to a meeting in the underground of Westgate.
All right.
A conference, if you will.
I'm writing it down right now.
The symbol is of a hand grasping an eyeball.
Have they done any work on trying to figure out what the fuck that is?
Um,
There's a
you know,
blood kid on it.
in your situation, I would let you use a streetwise would make a lot of sense, or a history.
Oh, yeah. I know which one I'm gonna pick for sure. Hint, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be an intelligence skill. Maybe it is. Is it? I'll find it. And baby, I do believe I'm trained. Oh my god. Why does it keep ignoring my stats? This is most troublesome. What's the ability modifier for that?
For streetwise,
Yeah.
believe it's intelligence.
Mm. As I remember.
Charisma.
Charisma.
Yeah, I remember my modifier to be. Why does it do
Okay.
that? Yeah, that would be 15.
Give me a roll.
26.
Yeah, the symbol, it certainly, you know that it has appeared before. Like, you've been in Westgate for a long time. It's usually like, if you might have found it, um, sort of investigated some old decrepit destroyed building that was a thing once upon a time, and found it like engraved in a door that was once a secret door but now leads to just a collapsed room or something like that. What it means, you don't know, but you recognize it, having seen it incredibly rarely when maybe looking for a new layer or something in there.
All right. Well, I'll get, you know, my most discreet people trying to figure something about that. But I need.
Sure. The message itself appears to be written by someone to whom common is not their natural language.
Huh. All right. I mean, that could still be like so many people. Anyone.
Communication is simply is not specified as much as it is a set of directions to go to the bottom
Okay.
of Old Westgate.
Yeah. She's not going on until she knows what that is, because she's paranoid as fuck, and going to some hidden place, doesn't seem like a good idea.
Certainly the opposite of public.
Yeah, it's just, which she's okay with if she's the one inviting people.
Mm-hmm.
Being one of those coward black dragons. As we've established. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get on looking for that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Beyond that, you want to take your long rest. It takes a 10-day, but no one will come for you in those 10 days. You can take a rest.
Great.
All right.
Great. Reset your tokens.
Oh, that's not a rest. That's the opposite.
I will interrupt it. You scream.
I will interrupt myself.
Yeah. I will.
You receive a message from Malignant. Oh, shit. Well,
Yeah.
With that done, before we start like cranking along with the rain engine, I think we're all gonna congregate together and then start heading south. I saw Hezefae sunning herself, so I figure, her lair's got to be somewhere near there.
Yeah, and you can fly back there. It's quite a flight, really, over land here, over Gulfmere. You can see that there's like trails of burnt in it, but the Gulfmere forest does recover incredibly quickly. Perhaps not entirely naturally, if you will. Beyond that, you can see some outskirts of the grasslands of Nathlan here has been scorched and burned. Really, it's pretty easy to follow the trail from the air.
Just say, like, follow a trail back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, there's no doubt for anyone about what dragon did this. And you will indeed find close to the place where you found her sunning herself. Moving up, you will find Hezefae's lair, which is shown by a not quite done sort of mountain ridge here that is being currently in the process of by human hands being carved into her likeness, sort of Mount Rushmore style, looking out across the land. The humans have like scaffolding and such. They're dressed in rags primarily, but have fine tools, probably captured. They seem to be guarded by assorted groups of hobgoblins.
S3 Dragons Land.
Who look up upon the dragons with some concern.
I think I'll work on, trying to peacefully resolve the situation. I'll try.
As you're there, you can see from behind in some caverns behind the statuary, hobgoblins get on wyverns and begin to sort of drill them up to take flight. Beyond that, down on the grasslands, you can see a couple of haphazard tents where centaurs seem to be marching, not wearing the red banner symbols. Just from conjecture, it would seem that these are perhaps retreated forces for the losing side. Found some shelter here.
Emizure says to Rearman Theorem or Cicatrix, I would like to spare their lives and avoid conflict. It is possible that one of her minions witnessed. She pauses and she looks at Riverthere, and she continues it. One of her witnesses witnessed my insult directed at Hezefae, and so may have knowledge that what I'm about to speak is true. It would be good to make this relatively painless.
I know I shouldn't ask, but what insult?
Mizore says, I flew down here while Hezefae was sunning herself, and I roared at her that I had heard she had lost to you. She immediately responded by charging me, and then I knocked her unconscious. She fell in front of her minions, and I left.
Like an offhand comment, bye, and then,
Yeah, just and then
since she charged me, being the bad guy, then I made her unconscious. Fair.
Yeah. Sorry.
She looks at Rearman Third.
Rivership pauses visibly for a bit.
As I said, not your fault. I am the one who goaded her up there.
You can even see the crater down on the ground. where she was punched into. There's like a couple of dented red scales in the bottom of it. Then you can see a clear fiery trail going north from it.
I love the storytelling here.
Yes, I now understand what you meant when you said it's not my fault.
Imagine you just like hover there in the air, speaking high above the camp.
These minions are going to understand Draconic. She will have trained them for such.
Yeah, it seems likely.
Emmy's Ray will fly closer, heading for like the crater. She's on the eye out if there's any ballista that suddenly like starts firing or what have you, or like enemies with like longer range weapons. She knows how they look at this point. She'll keep her distance.
It doesn't seem from her eye glance that they have ballistae.
Good. She'll land at the crater.
It seems like they have a lot of construction, really. It seems like a lot of natural caverns, and then some captive sort of human crafting slaves to do the actual labor.
She'll land at the crater to like pick up like one of the dented red scales.
Sure. The centaurs have gathered, and a couple of wyverns are landing by them, keeping a distance certainly, and not coming closer.
She roars out in Draconic towards like the amassing like groups. Your mistress is slain. Her crater here was where I insulted her. She will never return for you.
There's movement, jostling of people. As it seems like for a moment no one wants to come forward to do anything about it. Mm-hmm. They're all watching.
Of course.
Closely. Being good Rahal. These are not like size appropriate, but I'll spend out anyway to give it like an idea of what kind of as someone will step off one of the wyverns and look in your direction, who seems to have authority.
Cool.
Yeah. A hobgoblin, who certainly the others defer to, and sort of part as she walks forward. Not stepping too far away from the wyvern, really. Probably staying on it.
Okay. So like the wyvern basically like walks towards me.
Yeah, like the wyvern is like a mount, right?
Yeah.
She has some like a bridle basically on it, and then some harness. They seem to control it pretty well here. Something that your character might not know, but it is something the hobgoblins of the Osram Mountains typically do.
Yeah, that would definitely not be in my character's knowledge.
Wyvern riding. Moving forward, as she in clearly learned Draconic, it's not her natural language. She hasn't grown up with it or anything like that. We'll speak out and say, "You understand we're skeptical as to your claims, yet you are 3, and she was 1. Never have I known her to be hesitant in battle."
She says, "When I approached her but a few days ago while she sunned herself, I called out that I had heard she had lost to," she gestures towards the silver dragon. "This provoked her into a rage. She charged at me. Her body left this crater. When I left, she pursued me all the way up to where I live. Her body. I did not feel like hauling back here for the express purpose of you being able to see her."
Give me a diplomacy check with a +2.
I will.
See how it's coming across.
20 plus 19 for diploma. Okay. Yep. A bonus. I will not use fast talk for that. I think 38 is sufficient.
There's a little bit of hospital.
Even at the +2. My bad. 41.
Right. Yeah, I can
40.
tell you the DZ is far. As she'll just take a moment, and then accept it and say, "Nor have I known her to ever let a wrong go unrighted. In that case, we are at your mercy. If you could slay her, you could slay all of us, certainly."
She says, "We have no intention on harming any of her minions, provided you are not in our way when we loot her hoard. You may go about your lives in these mountains, live, fly, get employment somewhere else. It will not bother us. But we will have her treasure that we have earned."
Mm-hmm. Perhaps a less wise warlord would be loath to give up the dragon hoard. But Sakti here is not one of those. She'll simply nod and say, "Allow me to show you the way."
There's her eyes and says, "Please do."
She'll also pull the reins and raise up the Byron, knowing, or perhaps just recognizing that if she displeases you, you could just. It would be some difficulty, some annoyance to you, perhaps, to kill them all. But she doesn't think she.
Is it worth it?
No, like she doesn't want to die for a bunch of gold. It wasn't hers anyway. Like easy come, easy go.
Right.
Perhaps. And honestly, the dragon wasn't really a great master. Not really a choice in that respect.
Misere, alert eyes, checking for signs of betrayal. Like, maybe the red dragon in a moment of cunning was like, "This is what you do in this circumstance."
Mm-hmm. Perhaps such orders were given, but perhaps given the circumstances, the Hong Kong don't care about them.
Yeah.
There's no love or loyalty here.
That's a true.
Beyond that, the couple should have get up here. She sort of looks at the humans working to carve the likeness into the mountain, considering perhaps to tell them to just quit it for a moment, but then decides against it, letting them work on the pointless project. She will instead get off. Well, actually, she doesn't get off her iron. There's no reason to. This place is plenty big. It's been carved for a much bigger dragon because Heseva expected herself to become freaking massive. We'll take you through the natural caverns of Crocking here, having been expanded upon and cut upon, clearly with more intentions of grandioseness of nature. But she'll say the treasures of the late midnight sun are mainly those raided from caravans. The rival dragons further into the mountains are blue and have their eyes on Termish. She did not trespass into their territory. They're older and have a system of diplomacy amongst them that we do not know. I assure you we have taken none of this hoard away from what is there.
And Missouri bobs her head. Of that I do not doubt.
She will lead you to a large natural cavern chamber, at the bottom of which is just piled stuff with sort of big marks as if something very large has been rolling around in all of it, really. A lot of broken vases and fancy silks and such are ruined, absolutely, from the dragon just sort of disregarding its value, really, or enjoying perhaps being able to disregard its value. But beyond that, there certainly are coins.
I may be speaking out of turn, but given our draconic nature and that this may be the biggest hoard we've seen, I don't think all the dragons just glaze over like gold.
The gold. Yeah, it's an actual dragon's hoard, certainly.
Festerlix was the other one we killed, and most of his stuff was just he scrolled it away in things that were irrelevant to us. The portable hole.
Mm-hmm.
It was different to behold it.
It will take a little bit of time. You're dragons, so less time than anyone would think to actually figure out what's in here. I'll just give you the values, but you can imagine all sorts of things. Basically, many caravans have been raided or even demanded tribute of, with treasures coming from far away places. Golden statues, mainly things that are glittering, is what she liked. So that when she breathed fire on things, it would sort of glitter. You can also find around the hoard that coals have been spread out so that a fire breath could light the whole thing into a gleaming pile of warm golden gold that would sort of shine up the whole cavern. In here, you can find, let's see, 48,000 gold.
Oh God.
In various types of coinage. Right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, there are 3 magic items, which I will tell you about one by one as I put them into.
Yeah.
So that's 16,000 gold each to start off with, folks.
How much?
16,000, because 48,000 divided by 3 is 16,000.
Wow.
I think at this point, Rimenfir would mumble something along the lines, and to think of I built up my wealth last time, a few coins at a time, as given as thanks by the people I helped, and now it's this much, and it was so quick.
Surprisingly, in here, there are 2 magic weapons. Cloak. Go and this one. Snipping them out. As pictures. Because I find that is easier to handle. It's a cape, actually. All right. Let's take a look at this. So, the first weapon is a black smelt weapon. The common magic item of level 16. It's a flail hammer mace type weapon of +4 enhancement bonus. As a daily power minor action, your attacks with this weapon deal extra damage equal to the weapon's enhancement bonus until the end of your next turn. So +4 damage.
Oh, Flail Hammer Mace does that? Oh.
There's that. There's no crit damage on it. That's
I see that. That's odd. I've not seen a magic weapon before that has no crit damage attached.
Right? I'm like, what the fuck?
well, I imagine the Secretaries would be interested, but
Would she though? It's a flail hammer mace.
Yeah, it doesn't fit into the dagger category.
no, that's what I said. You wouldn't be.
Oh yeah, I said you would. I was like, nah.
The next one is a weapon of the Conqueror, which is a dragon type weapon. It's an axe and heavy blade weapon with a +3 enhancement bonus. As a property, this bonus also counts as for damage rolls with dragon breaths.
Oh.
As a daily free action, when you use your dragon breath, it becomes a close burst 3.
Okay.
All around you.
Interesting. 3d12 damage if you are bloodied. Oh,
Critical.
cool.
The cape is a Flame Wrath cape. It has an enhancement bonus of +4, which goes to Fortitude, Reflex, and Will. As a property, this bonus is also given to Intimidate checks.
Ooh.
As a daily minor action, you can, until the end of your turn, make your melee attacks deal extra fire damage equal to the enhancement bonus, meaning a +4. Also, until the end of your next turn, an enemy that hits you with a melee attack takes 46 fire damage.
Mm-hmm. Well,
There.
as Imizure promised, she'll give Vercingetorix first pick, but that cape would probably look really fucking great on that drow.
Yeah, I mean,
Made of smoke.
it
And it's also the most valuable thing there by a huge margin.
it honestly,
Item values do escalate quite a bit.
yeah, I like it. She'll definitely want that, and it's not because it's much better than something she has, but what would she use the weapons for? Those are not those are not. I don't know if any of you like player to player can use some of the weapons.
The black smelt weapon falls into my hammer category.
Yeah, and I could use the Weapon of the Conqueror, although... No, actually, no, that's Valigner if we're going to use it. Great. I can use neither of those.
Yeah.
They can be sold for half their value, should you be interested in that.
Or perhaps, you make a treasure deal with I can operate as like Valignev's sort of like hoard exchanger.
No, suddenly up there in the mountain, he's like, "Oh,
Valignev has a +5 weapon in his sword. He's done.
Yeah, I know.
As cool as the bonus to Dragon Breath would be, it would be really, really greedy to want like a secondary weapon that is also like really good.
I switched to my Dragon Breath weapon. No, well,
I'm okay with not getting any of these.
I mean,
doing the right thing was treasure now.
Yeah.
You're definitely getting the Weapon of the Conqueror though, because Ares did a thing, and like she can't make use out of the Weapon of the Conqueror, and I can't make use out of it either. So you're definitely getting that.
Just got claim on two things, but it's just like me as a player, I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't need that.
I wouldn't make use of it either.
It might end up like being of some other like value. Besides the fact that it is, of course, value.
It is
to a dragon. How could a dragon resist value?
I mean, I think Rivenfear could resist quite easily, because this is already like way beyond his comfort zone. You just kill another dragon, take his stuff.
I mean,
after teasing him.
And just,
Sheep, you use as weapons. You use like staff or something.
Rivenfear uses a quarterstaff for his implement and a great spear for his normal attacks.
All right.
His beast attacks.
You haven't really had any magic items so far, so why don't you just assume that this item can work as a great spear?
All right. I did after you messaged me. However, pick a.
Do you find another one you want?
I did already pick a weapon there, so I would be covered.
All right. Good. I mean, then never mind. Yeah, it's just a bonus one, I guess.
All right.
See, I need to break it so it's a dagger size, and then
It's not how it works. It's not how the magic works.
I just think it would be nice on my offhand, when I crit.
I don't know what kind of ingesting you two are gonna do, like transport your treasure, but Imizura's definitely like got the portable hole back out and just 16,000 in like spices and artworks and rugs and vases that aren't broken.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes like
silver bars.
Yeah.
Silver bar.
She doesn't need vases and tapestries and such because it won't keep well in the warden.
I mean, you'll sell it, probably.
Huh?
You'll probably just translate it into money.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, if she would, like, that is not.
But again, make sure you have the hat to transport stuff. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You're dragons. You can all know the value.
It's what we do.
Even though we're all, like, we're allies here, there definitely will be side glances, right? Because we're all greedy. Like, we're all, this is like...
There always have been.
On, like, okay, yeah, that's right. But, there is, like, all right, well...
Or Sigurd just like, yeah, okay, you take those things that would rot in the water anyway. And my character would like, yeah, okay, you take that, because that just looks dumb. Like, there's no real craftsmanship in that.
But it's like, there's like the always demand, or it's like, but also the like kind of looking like, okay, we're gonna make sure that, even though there are tapestries, I gotta make sure that they only add up to your value.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, huh, you're taking those.
A lot of haggling there, you could imagine, just between like the green and the black there.
But if you, I imagine not even verbally, just like glances, like
Unspoken, like.
okay.
It probably takes us the entire night, basically. Like we're just there, like.
Yeah.
The minions here keep a distance. They originally came here to meet with a blue dragon that never showed up, and then they encountered the red one. It safe to say they consider maybe not working for dragons anymore because it just it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Beyond like a mercenary sort of capacity, right, where they're paid up front.
I think late in the night, I think Imizure is this seems appropriate. I think she'll find this Shakti, the Zakti, or it's hard for her to keep track of like hobgoblins, Sort of blurs together.
Zakti is around.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that Imizuri is going to take 2,500 out of the 18,000 and leave that for the hobgoblin.
She'll be surprised.
Yeah. It says, for your efficient cooperation and understanding to ease your transition into what you're doing next.
3,500?
2,500.
500. All right. She will
She's gonna bail all these goblins and leave
look slightly skeptically, but take it, and then nod, looking at the green dragon, curious for a moment here. That is certainly not what the red dragon did. Ever really. That was a lot more threats and sort of a imminent dismemberment.
She says, "You have a question? We will still be here. You may speak your mind freely to me."
Your kind is curious. You have so much power, and yet it seems hard to discern your motivations. You give me this for my future endeavors, so I suppose an incentive to continue cooperating, should we need to. However, what are your future plans that I might somehow get involved in?
She says, "It is unlikely, Hobgoblin, that we will ever cross paths again. My desires and designs do not take me down to this mountain range. I am on the other side of Nathlin, close to Tazir, Redensir, far closer to Cormyr than this is. My intentions are most likely with the Gulfmere Forest, which is most certainly not here. I have no desire for this land. I cannot imagine what I would do with it."
She nods. Then inevitably some other dragon will find it and take it. Maybe one of the blues being sent from the other side of it. It's always been that way.
Perhaps you could approach one of said dragons and offer your services. It seems you've experience with that.
Enough to know that a little time not being directly tied to one might be better for us. She glances to the humans still chiseling away at the massive sort of dragon carving.
You can perhaps tell them to stop. There's not much point anymore.
She shrugs. I mean, I'm just going to throw them off the cliff when they're done anyway.
I
Might as well longer.
think you should simply let them go. They've done good work so far as I could tell from the outside.
She shrugs. Sure. We'll say something in Goblin to one of her people, who will go and just tell him to get down there and then tell him to go, just pointing into the mountains.
You're free now. See whether they even understand that concept.
She sort of looks after them. So there you go. Well, should you ever require mercenaries around these mountains, know that you can find them Not just us, but others of our kind. And if you do them a favor and pay them up front, you might find us a lot less cooperative when we work for an employer that does.
I'll keep that in mind.
She nods and will give you sort of a little wait, and then she'll bow as well. Not wanting to risk any offense at your tremendous power.
She bobs her head expectantly. That was a good choice.
I have one more request to make.
She eyes up as she's bowed.
So Romanfair shuffles a bit awkwardly. She says,
and he steps away to go back to fucking counting and staring at where Cicatrix every now and then.
Should you inevitably make contact with any of the dragons in these mountains after all, either by chance or inevitably when you end up working for them again, do mention that there's a place of, how do I put this, of draconic diplomacy that might be of their interest up in the northern part of the Serpent Valley. It's quite obvious from the air. It's technically not where I live exactly, but it is a place I represent currently, and, well, badly, for one. But the message should still get out there.
Imi calls out, while counting, golden tapestries, "It's a site sacred to Tiamat."
Yes, that, I suppose. I'd like to think that's secondary behind the idea of the place, though.
Looks at him and says, "And you all work together for that reason?"
Among other things, yes.
Well, I'm sure, that there are those of the Blues who will think themselves greater, and be rightfully so, than Hesife, who might well seek to bring in others of their kind to their armies when they attack Termish.
Well, be that as it may.
Gideon says, "I'll inform them." Should I end up in such a force? She says that with sort of almost a confidence that if one of the blue dragons manages to sort of win supremacy and gather the others, she will be in the army that goes against Termish, because at that point the people of the Ashram Mountains will have no choice but to go. That is simply how it's always worked. And at that point, she will inform him that there might be more dragons to bring with him up there.
Wonderful. Great. As Romanfair will, turn around and walk away with, the greatest expression of, I shouldn't have done that.
Just say, yeah. And Tiamat with you.
Oh. No, that's...
I think that's enough to interrupt Eviser out of her reverie, and she just starts laughing into a tapestry.
Yeah, she's just starting with a little snicker, and she just ends up in a pile of gold.
Eviser rolls to be next to where Cicatrix laughing.
The Halcon instinctively jerks and sort of stares at that direction. The sound probably being somewhat of an alligator yawning or something. Pretty, she shudders slightly. We'll move outside. She feels more comfortable when she's a little more open space than in here with all these monsters.
If the dedication to my own code makes others interpret my actions as whatever they think, then so be it. That does not make it so.
Yeah, but Cicatrix is not openly laughing. She is snickering to herself, however, and but they'll probably escape the sound. A snort,
He very like sputters out of like laughter eventually, and goes on with the process of counting and sorting and disassembling and moving wealth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is very important.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. I think Vestigatrix is a little disgusted by the broken stuff. See, like, you can't spend money. Like, it's not worth anything anymore. Like, no one buys a broken vase. It's like,
This fucking just dragon is like uncaring.
Just not care. Yeah.
yeah, that dragon didn't even deserve to have this. It's a good thing it's going to be rescued now.
Clearly didn't deserve to have it because she's dead now.
Yeah, you know, and just really.
We're not the first dragons to discover that the best way to profit in power is just by killing other dragons.
It is. You know, there are probably like 16th generation dragon hordes in Comir that have just been like inherited by by other black dragons that have.
Yeah, I'm not
murdering
going
each
into
other.
the
You know,
Well, the black dragon we tried to kill last week had inherited that locale from another one.
probably
I
not
say-
adding too much to it except for what was already there. Sort of.
I feel like the people there might be crazy enough that you're just like, oh yes, the black dragon will do what it says. So you don't even realize it's a different one. It's just like, ah yes, a black dragon. This is the one we serve.
Then after like the day and the night passes, or like bobs her head, and three of us depart, leaving the mercenaries to go about their lives.
Yes, depart and go home. And what home it is.
Mm. Yeah,
Now a
So-
more richly decorated home.
just great. Mm.
There's a scene when Amizuri like gets back. She stands in front of the shrine of Malar, like within like the base, like one of the, like the bullets like tunneling out and like eyeballing like the dragon. Amizuri like reaches like into the portable hole, pulls out one of those dull red scales of Hezefe, and just flicks it with her claw into the pool of Malar.
Probably like sinks to the bottom before it sort of loses its color and almost withers away. And Malar is mighty pleased at such an action.
She remembers Hezefe's insult, calling Malar weak. Well,
Probably the opposite, actually. So greater than Malar, but not that Malar was weak. Malar's very strong, but she's even greater.
yeah.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's completely wrong, but
If only she hadn't gotten sick.
Yes, that's the really thing. It's always the healer's fault or something, right?
even if you pulled the whole room,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good session, guys. We got paid.
yeah. You also got the XPs. This game gives more XPs for bigger monsters than it does for smaller ones. So this is enough to push you up over the edge to level 17.
No
Ooh.
shit.
Holy
Wow.
Mother.
I suppose like the kill has
you
a
also did a goal.
goal. Yeah.
I
Convinced.
was sitting on the hordes, looking about, like, I think I learned the truth today.
And you got some XP killing a big fish and stuff last session, and
Yeah.
it's been a while actually, but
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Level 17.
That's pretty good.
I suppose like it has a bit of it like it's difficult when we're going slow and just progressing through rain. Yeah, but we did just take time out of our lives to the dragon fight.
Do a lot of murder. Yeah. It really does pay better, you know.
I mean the rain stuff usually gives XP in form of
Yeah.
gold. Right?
It does.
It certainly slows down a little bit, which I think was good, all things
Yeah,
considered.
like when I
Yeah.
made the remark was with mind that you wanted to slow down like the leveling process because we really ramped up because of how much shit we
There
had.
were 3 sessions there where I can even look back at my list here of XPs that are just like, boom,
So many giants we fucking killed.
so many giants. But yeah, they're still worth a lot. But
All right, good
I
work.
like the whole working with them. Also,
You were close already, so. But yeah, it's a good amount of XP there for medium goal, this level.
Oh, this would have been the level where Veliknov would have gotten such a good power.
yeah, well,
Level 17, replace 1 encounter attack power. Ah, yes. What bullshit from the battle mind will I pull out of my ass next?
I was about to make a joke, but I don't know. I mean, the unconscious one is already so out there that it's like.
I don't think I can pull out like any bullshit that's greater than like unconsciousness save heads.
Yeah. The enemy, you can kill one enemy with less than 500 hit points.
Finger of death.
I think I'm gonna mod class.
Would not be Hezefe, but
Definitely not. That was a. I really enjoyed the Hezefe character. That was really great. I'm glad that.
Yes.
Like, it was really great to see like a dragon that had fully like embraced like the, not just the archetype but like the draconic like urges there.
Hezefe was a, I would say, I imagined at least a hard person to work with, as a working relationship, if that was how this was gonna go. Which after last session, of course, wasn't.
Yeah.
She's been there for a while, sort of raiding caravans and whatnot, but
She has been.
Oh my god, there's a literal encounter power for the rogue that's called Dragon Tail Strike.
If there's that's very fitting. If there was one I had the money I gave to the Zogdi, it is with the idea in mind that that word spreads that like Hezefe's death came at the hands of Emisare Lidrathir, so that that way those assholes, say for example in Naflen, can hear about it. A dragon that terrorized and burned like farmsteads and countryside. Remember that.
She will spread that, though probably not speaking to many Nathlan people. Probably mostly like raiding those, if anything, and then running away before Sphinx shows up. Probably mostly talking to other hobgoblins, but still 3 dragons working together of different colors. Like in the Osprey Mountains, it's blue dragon territory. It's always been since Termish was once ruled by a massive one. Its sort of offspring are there. It's not uncommon that they sort of force each other. Like they're very rigid creatures. They love organization and conquest and war bands and such. So the hobgoblins there sort of thrive alongside them. But they usually subjugate each other, right? You beat up a dragon, then you tell him now he works for you, and then he does, kind of, as long as you can keep him in check. And then you set them about to do things, right? That's what works there. But 3 of different colors, none of which are blue, that is certainly a new sight in those mountains. Though most of those dragons look to the other side of them. It's not like Nathlan actually has a lot of to all of them. It's just a strange place, strange and scary place. Not a lot of them want to go there to just have a chance of dying to who knows what. Hezefe certainly did live up to her draconic archetype.
I liked it. I enjoyed the character.
To see her.
So
Smashed
good.
on the snoot.
Yeah, I know. It felt like when I played Snoot, it was good. Great. There's just something about being crazy, It's just good.
Very mad what you did. Yeah, no, I didn't know how that battle was going to go. You had, of course, the benefit of choosing the rain. You pissed her off to the point where she didn't bring any of her people or something. She wasn't inherently stupid. She just doesn't. It's just hubris, right?
Yeah, like I had offended her honor, and in so doing, like.
Well, and you're not even a red dragon. Like, if she had to fight Malignant, she might have been more clever about it because he's a red dragon. Yeah, she would have beaten him up to show that she's the greatest one, but she would have tried to be smart about it. Well, but you know.
All right, I was inferior, and I did that to her. And...
There's a lot of things compounded there.
Just some random,
once
nothing.
again, the amount of control this party has in terms of either moving people to where you want them, or just stopping them from moving in general. Like now also with Verminthier, really makes some of these creatures that sort of have their abilities built around mobility. Makes them have a very tough time doing what they're really good at. Like basically, all her turns were spent pretty much doing basic attacks, right? Compared to her actual sort of
It
barreling.
helps a lot when we can team up as well, right? Because otherwise, all the effects are spread out on like minions.
Oh yeah.
Fucking smart.
Yeah,
like
that's
no,
still-
when
that's
we
still a
can
creature
team
working
up on
solo
one
is
person, that's certainly that's a little different.
Mhm. Yeah, I enjoyed the session. It was fun. We did what we had to do, looking away from the water and saying, you know what? Let's take the bigger dragon. It doesn't. We can kill it outside of its lair, and that's certainly only dragons usually who think that way, right?
Like,
Adventurers would be like, no, let's go into the cave.
It's so
Fight
good
that.
though. Like
like the epiphany came to me sort of like I left that situation, and then like description of like the black dragon. It's like, of course the black dragon's just gonna fucking lurk around. They're fucking cowardly by nature. Like, and no one's gonna be stupid enough to want to fight 3 dragons.
No.
Who would be stupid enough to fight 3 dragons? Maybe he has a favorite.
It's not what she signed up for, but she probably would have anyway. If it's you 3.
yeah, I mean, it's not like we look like much of a threat. We're tiny
Well,
for
you're
dragon.
not that
We're
small.
not even red.
No, you're not even red. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, no, she wasn't stupid. She just, had hubris.
I mean, she also went to hit one dragon.
Hmm.
To be
No,
fair,
she
like
believed,
didn't
she
know
believed,
that we're
rightly so, that in a duel she would have won.
Rightly so, she would have won.
Against 2 of you, she
right.
would have won. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Cicatrix again, Cicatrix is like kind of dragon. She's like, she can certainly like, she'd never say that she's okay with this whole arrangement because fuck Yaffle and fuck being, having your soul sold and everything. But there certainly is something to gain from working with others, like
Yeah.
mutually beneficial.
Mhm.
I like that it's like a big thing for a dragon to like
To admit.
think about, like,
Yeah.
there is something good about,
Mhm.
hmm,
I mean, there's,
yeah,
each dragon has their nature, and by working together, they're sort of pushed out of their comfort zone. I think that's something we see a lot, really. While these dragons who don't have to work with others don't get pushed out of their comfort zones, they just indulge in their draconic sort of nature most of the time.
I enjoyed the flavor of not just like seeing Rementhier in action, but also like Rementhier like offering Hezepheh the opportunity to just like leave, and I won't pursue you. Like that was really cool.
yeah, I like that a lot. Getting it in there that like, no, he's still very much his own dragon,
Yeah, like his compulsion hasn't really gotten any attention yet, but I've certainly tried to work that in wherever I could.
Could you remind us what it is?
It is the good old eye for an eye. Whatever you do to him, he will do to you, which includes, not fighting.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say you self-compelled that, and you're, by the way, allowed to do that and put attention to it.
All right, try to keep that in mind.
Offering.
I like that. I can see in like the Cicatrixes and in his dialogue in earlier sessions how that last session also played in. That's nice.
Maybe Siri adding another tag to her.
Yep, I think so. I think when you kill so many dragons that it doesn't matter, like she'll stop keeping track of that. But both of those dragons were larger than her, and so especially in the case of like Hezefe, who had like a name, had like obviously like power and renown down there. Like that matters.
She was the dragon of the Western Ostrom Mountains.
That's fine.
Like there might be a dragon in the Snowflake Mountains, but you begin to have this like there aren't that many,
I mean, we're
They're-
starting to
they're
clear
killing them
our
like
area nicely.
Yeah. Well,
mean,
this
except for
place has a
giants.
lot of them because of you, but
And
density
while,
didn't really pretty low because they fight when they sort of are pushed together, and then
it used to be that like we killed the Serpentine Earl. My character like cared about keeping track of that, and now there's like bigger things that she's killed that
Yeah.
the Serpentine Earl just doesn't matter
Well,
that
I
much.
mean, it makes sense also from like the whole Malloy perspective. She's just showing how big and bad she is.
Yeah, this is
She
the biggest shit
big.
I've killed.
Yeah.
it's true.
I did it.
Yeah, and even if I didn't land the killing blow, like the fire giant believes that I like did it in a one-on-one situation, and like I orchestrated that event where the dragon, the clever, smart, powerful dragon, pursued me into a trap.
I mean, Fire Giant looked at that and thought, I don't think I would have wanted to do that duel.
Yeah, I figured
would've
I was
been-
like,
That's
like,
not.
oh, please take the honor of that. So this motherfucking fire giant will be like, maybe don't mess with that dragon. Like,
That's what I hope it conveys,
Yeah.
like by giving like a dragon body that was obviously like super big, super strong, and also relevant to fire giants and a red dragon. Like Victus might be like, maybe don't fuck with that dragon now.
I mean, that was what this whole thing has been about.
Mhm.
I have little to gain from this animosity. Beyond, I suppose, the further acceptance and uncaring commands of my masters, who care not for who and what I do.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah.
She
This is
seems
how to be
really-
a tool, really.
And I
Ironically, though, she still treats the stone giants as absolute tools.
Oh no, yeah, because they're more.
But
No, it's
they
like
barely have feelings. Like,
I
Come on.
know. It's like the red dragons, really.
I like Victus as a character. I'd like to see her around, and this hopefully is a step to keeping her around by divorcing her from the hierarchy.
yeah, she's no longer. I mean, she's still, for now at least, pays lip service, and she's not gonna attack them outright. But yeah, no, to her mind at least, she's separated.
That way, the hierarchy can't say, "Fire giants, go do my bidding." Now it's go
No.
do my bidding. She says no, and then they're like, "Well, what do we do now?"
We'll send a fire.
Hmm.
Mm,
Well, we sent all the other minions beneath us.
they're having some trouble recruiting.
Maybe if we just get one of those cloud giants, we might be able to ransom Malignant back.
Well, let's hope all those blue dragons don't suddenly show.
I think that's a problem for future Malignant.
It's just like, yes, I'm finally home. There's just like a fucking line of blue dragons in the
I am
sky.
an ancient blue dragon. I have come
I
from
don't
my.
think it's a problem so much as like like a circumstance like, oh good, I have a visitor. The blue dragon's like, you're the one who defeated Hezefe?
Come, the Charmish throne. We shall take it together.
Yeah, you could be part of my army. Like, I was like, as soon as I read that, I was like, I'm not
The
part of
blue
it.
dragons there would think that they would like, they would fight, and then the greater one would sort of enforce his will upon the younger by
Let's not do
essentially
that.
not killing them if he win. Right?
Malignant, on the other hand, is all for a world in which dragons rule it. So
Yeah, he wants a blue dragon on Charmish, but he doesn't necessarily want to serve the one that is there.
Oh. Why would he? He's chosen.
Offer his help as an ally, which would confuse the blue dragon to no end.
what does that mean? Ally.
Is it a non-hierarchical? I don't even. So if I paint a vertical line, now put me on top, and then
Yes.
And
you
Uh,
where else would you?
like What if you paint a second line parallel to that, and you're on one line and I'm on the other?
Then we fight.
It's like a banking system. Then, we earn a plateau and there's a line up. Oh, Lord.
It's, they have their draconic goals.
Yeah.
Build things and make power and...
I was tempted to smash that stupid statue of Hesefe.
I think one of the blue dragons will take care of it all about.
And I was like, at least I'll let it stay. Me as a player, will let it stay until the humans are out of sight.
If Hesefe had a time, not a couple time skips or something, then he could have been there staring out over the edge of Nathland here, or the Nathland border, just looking upon them with disdain.
I think Cicatrix is especially disgusted of it because she is sort of secretive about her lair, and it's just like, ugh. This stupid dragon.
Why would you be secretive if you're the baddest motherfucker around, yeah?
She used to
Because otherwise 3 smaller dragons are going to get together and...
Yeah.
Alright. At this point, thanks for the session.
Yeah, thank you.
Good work, team.
Remember, there's an open goal slot. Consider it.
It's true.
That's right. Open goal slot.
We have that.
And level 17. Consider that.
17. That's like more than halfway through the game.
And next section, probably some progress with a rain. Probably.
Maybe.
Think about stuff you might want to do then. Take it easy, everyone. Enjoyed it. It was good times.
Yes.
Yep. See ya.